He hand gently landed. Lin Fi and Bao Panji were both shocked by the sight. I knew I was right. Looks like fire really can control them. It's working. They've all backed off now. Suddenly, a spider appeared behind them. It shot its tail toward He Han, striking him in the chest, causing blood to splatter everywhere. He was just as surprised by what happened to him. The spider lifted him up off the ground. Let's go, we need to leave quickly while we have the chance. He had been poisoned, and his veins started to swell. He turned his head to see what was happening. It's poison. My whole body feels numb. Humph, that's a queen spider. Looks really seductive. It caught me. Could she be the third sister? Lin Fili and Bao Panji were getting ready to fight, preparing to rescue He Han. He Han, don't be scared. I'm coming to save you. The spider queen was using her tail with a sharp barb to pierce He Han, causing him to experience intense pain all of a sudden. Don't panic. I don't actually want to kill him. Lin Fili tried to negotiate in an effort to save He Han. All you need to do is help me with one thing and I'll let him go. The spider queen stuck out her tongue and pointed at her own face, teasing them. Find me 100, no, 500 people, and as long as I'm well fed, you can leave. The spider queen was a level 5 venomous creature. He Han was terrified when he found out about the spider queen's level system. Why don't you go look for it yourself? The spider queen angrily drove the spear deeper into He Han, causing him to cough up blood. Your turn to speak? Shut up. Both of them were horrified when they saw what happened to He Han. All right, we agree with you. Just let him down first. Yeah, let the hostage go first. It'll be easier to talk after that. The spider queen walked away with He Han, not forgetting to remind Lin Fi and Bao Panji to follow her instructions carefully. Make sure you're quick about it. If I don't get the body I need within an hour, he'll lose that ability. 3 hours later, he'll be in hell. Bao Panji and Lin Fi were terrified by what the spider queen had said. Lose his ability. I thought she was just here for food, but turns out she's flipping the table. The spiders all backed away, but they kept an eye on the two girls. Did they clear the way for us? Must be so we can leave. The two of them hurriedly ran, trying to finish what the spider queen had told them to do. Just get out first, then we'll figure it out. I'll go back to the operations center to call for backup. You go to the hospital and find Lu Ju. She's taking care of Jun Ki. The gang members were tied up and had their heads poking out, being used to assess the situation. They were terrified as spiders rushed at them, attacking and killing them. Can we run after them? They cried. He Han was caught in the webs. He was shocked to see skeletons scattered everywhere around the webs. The power within him had finally returned. Meanwhile, the gang members were also brought here. Is this her lair? The spider queen charged at one of them, using her tail to stab him. His face started to twist and sag. The spider queen looked pleased, almost enjoying herself. Thousands of eggs shot out from her, landing and quickly hatching into more spiders. Did Tang Sai Yao's underlings get caught too? He Han was horrified by what he saw. All these monstrous spiders, did you create them? She moved in a seductive, almost eerie manner. Oh, I'll spare your life for now, just to let you see the bigger picture. Once those two girls bring the people I need here, I'll turn you all into nourishment for my children. He Han let out a relieved sigh, then jumped in surprise. He thought she was the third younger sister, but it turned out she was just a woman obsessed with having children. The spider queen became furious. What did you say? If you're so eager to die, I'll be happy to help you along. He Han gave her a provoking look and replied, You'd rather have someone else trick people into helping you instead of going out to catch them yourself, right? Is it because you're afraid of the light? The spider queen's face twisted in panic, worried he'd figure her out. What? How do you know? Did I just get played? He Han proudly stood there, clearly enjoying her discomfort. You chose this place as your lair because you knew the artifact would attract a lot of people. Anyway, I can't move and I won't last long, so why don't you tell me where the high-level artifact is? The spider queen, furious, lunged at him, ready to kill. You talk too much. I'll send you on your way right now. He Han smirked. Whoa, getting impatient after just a few words. She attacked with the needle at the end of her tail. Suddenly, energy fields surrounded He Han, forming a protective armor and bringing him back into fighting mode. He Han threw a powerful punch at the spider queen, breaking the needle on her tail. Die! The spider queen was taken by surprise at the strength of the blow. You're completely back to normal now. How is that possible? My poison clearly worked on you before. The spider queen said, her eyes wide with shock. He Han was tearing through the webs that were wrapped around him. Earlier, he had used a special solution that allowed him to resist the spider's poison. That's true, it did work before. But now I've become immune to poison, He Han replied, his eyes gleaming with confidence. Using the Ice Heart Dan and transforming the fire attribute into poison, the effect lasted for 30 minutes. The spider queen was even more shocked when she learned this. I didn't expect this little brat had a trump card up his sleeve. Even if you aren't poisoned, I can still kill you. The Spider Queen shouted, her expression changing. She commanded the other spiders to attack. Children, crush him for me, she roared. He-Han was ready for a fight. Although he had already cured the poison, he still didn't have a suitable poison-based move. He picked one of the 3 flying cards hovering in the air and drew it. He tightly gripped the card in his hand. System, I already showed you my eyes earlier. Don't mess with me this time. Otherwise, if I die, you won't have anything left to look at. He-Han was stunned when he saw the card. He opened his mouth in shock as he stared at it. What is this? The card featured the image of a cute girl with light green hair, and she looked strangely familiar. He-Han quietly set the card he had drawn aside. Then suddenly, a thick cloud of smoke appeared, and it seemed like someone was inside it. If I can't summon her, I guess I can choose again, right? The girl from the card had now appeared, and He-Han was so shocked he couldn't even close his mouth. Their commotion annoyed the Spider Queen, who was fuming with rage. Congratulations, Master, you've drawn a super rare card. It's me. From now on, even if you don't have electronic devices, you'll still be able to meet me. Isn't that great? Not at all. Go back. The Spider Queen charged at them, her face twisted with fury. He-Han had to push the girl and the boy to the side. Are you trying to save face or something? And you're still chatting. Move aside. He-Han was worried. Despite his worry, the girl calmly fought back her tears. Well, I guess it's better than nothing. What skills do you have? Help me defeat that creepy spider. Who are you calling creepy? Right now, my level isn't high enough to create weapons, but I can still make a few basic tools. That's great. Basic tools are fine, the girl said, coming up with an idea. A pipa made from golden dragon tendons, a jade bed carved from jade that can break through clouds, and a cloak made of black bird feathers. Which one do you want? He-Han turned pale, looking drained after hearing what the girl said. Are you joking? The Spider Queen was extremely entertained by the girl. Ha 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 ha. Are you two trying to make me laugh myself to death? I've never seen such a cute partner before. He-Han, panicked and worried, turned to the girl. Don't you have any combat support tools? At my current level, the only tools I can make are ones that can't even protect you. He-Han had slowly regained his composure and the calm was returning to his face. Right, the teleportation device Bao Panji used earlier. Do you have it? The girl reached into the spatial gate, searching for something. Let me see if I can find it. Are you planning to run away? Hurry up and look. The Spider Queen activated her strength boost mode, unleashing all of her fury. Thinking of running? Don't even dream of it. I'll tear your flesh into pieces. The Spider Queen strength mode activated. He-Han quickly urged the girl, who was still fumbling around in the spatial gate. I can't hold out much longer. If you find it, just tell me. The Spider Queen charged, attacking fiercely against the magical shield He-Han had put up. Die. He-Han tried his best to maintain the shield, holding on as the Spider Queen relentlessly hammered away at it. How many people had she killed to be this strong? A simple punch like that carried such terrifying power. The shield finally shattered, and one powerful blow nearly hit He-Han. The Spider Queen kicked him, sending him flying. He crashed into a wall, and the outer armor around him vanished. At that moment, the girl found a scroll and tossed it toward He-Han. Luckily, he managed to catch it, but the Spider Queen immediately shot webs at him. He-Han was badly injured, with blood pouring from the corner of his mouth. He gave a mocking grin and tossed the scroll from earlier into the air. Bright beams of light surrounded the scroll, and the once closed wall was now open, letting in the light from outside. This is too dangerous, he muttered. But the queen wasn't worried at all. On the contrary, she laughed scornfully when she saw all of this. Foolish, you're barely able to breathe now, aren't you? My diamond spider webs have trapped you. You can't even breathe. And yet, you still think you can escape this tunnel. He-Han's eyes were sharp. The roof above him slowly vanished, revealing the sun. Its rays poured directly onto the Spider Queen, causing her intense pain as they burned her. Who said I was trying to escape? He-Han replied. I was just calling for help from outside. As the sunlight scorched the queen, black smoke rose from her body, and He-Han regained his strength along with the armor around him. He hadn't expected the power of sunlight to be so devastating. She looked at He-Han, her eyes filled with despair as he prepared to cast the spell again. You can escape the web just because you want me to stay still, so that's why it's precise. I just want to buy some time. The queen, panic-stricken, pleaded. Hero, please spare my life. I'm willing to serve you, to be your servant, and I will surely repay you. He-Han punched the ground hard, sending a burst of light that struck and finished off the queen. Please accept my sincere heart, but it's useless. He-Han's score increased by 300 points and his system screen appeared. Did he really kill her that quickly? He didn't even ask where the rare items were. 300 points added. No rush, the items are still here, they won't escape. It's better to focus on the main task first. The system screen displayed game attributes related to He-Han. Congratulations, player leveled up twice. Player, He-Han, poison attribute countdown, 6 hours 30 minutes remaining. Occupation, not determined. Level 5. Attack, 105. Defense, 60. Speed, 50. Critical hit, 6. Mental strength, 35. 567 out of 700. The girl was surprised when she heard He-Han's question. Did you notice? Notice what? He-Han's face became serious. This system didn't tell me I was the first player to reach level 5, which means someone got there before me. If that person is Tang Sai Yao, we've got a problem. He-Han immediately rushed out the door just as a car sped by outside. It was Lin Fi, along with a few police cars. He-Han kept running, replying as he went, I've already dealt with the spider monsters. I'm going after Tang Sai Yao. You lead a team to seal off the building and find that landing device. I'll join you. He-Han waved his hand, and a glowing book appeared in midair, slowly opening a portal around it. He stepped through, but not before giving Lin Fi one last instruction. No need for that. The more people, the more we risk drawing attention. While Lin Fi was still feeling pleased by He-Han's words, the police officers noticed something. They quickly realized he wouldn't be so easily defeated. Lin Fi and the officers looked up. Someone's on the upper floor. What? A figure glided past on the upper floor, moving through a hail of bullets. Gunshots rang out. He was about to make his move. Lin Fi, holding a gun in one hand, used the other to command the officers. Team 1, follow me. Don't let him escape. Understood. Lin Fi thought seriously for a moment. Could Tang Sai Yao still be inside the building? Had he already taken the props? In the dark of night, a car sped along the road. Inside, Mai Shan was laughing. Ha 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 ha, we've made it. We're rich now. 2 people, both wearing smug looks, each held a large marble-sized bead in their hands. Then they heard something moving on top of the car. The boss was right. There really were props on that bridge. He's truly a genius. The 2 exchanged curious glances. What was that sound? Drive carefully, you must have hit a branch or something. We need to hurry and get back. He-Han was clinging to the roof of the car. Hey, you don't let the boss think we're taking all the loot for ourselves. If we make him mad, we might as well kiss our lives goodbye. The car pulled up under a tall building. We're here. Well, why did the boss choose this godforsaken place as our base? They got out of the car and started showing off the spoils they had gathered. So how did it go? Why? What did you get? One of them asked the 2 who had just returned, making the newcomers feel a little confused. Are we the last group to come back? There's one more group on their way to the hotel. We haven't been able to reach them yet, probably because the signal is bad on the road. Meanwhile, He-Han was hiding under the car, eavesdropping on them. Where's the boss? I don't know. He's probably resting. Once everyone arrives, we'll go in and call him. He-Han's face turned serious. This guy had only been here for a few days, and he had already gathered so many people. He needed to be careful. The area was full of people who could easily hear and talk. If they wanted to find him, they would need to come up with a more clever plan. As He-Han was observing, he saw Cao Tai-Di being escorted by someone. The grass on the outside is poking into my butt. Shut up, or you'll deal with it in your pants. Cao Tai-Di was crying because he had been stripped of his clothes. The man escorting him angrily scolded him. I had all my money taken by you guys, and you still won't leave me alone. You're clearly not human. Boo-hoo. What are you rambling about? You want to die, huh? Suddenly, Cao Tai-Di was stunned when he saw the other person had been knocked unconscious by He-Han. Cao Tai-Di went pale with fear as He-Han grabbed his mouth. He-Han, with a most menacing look on his face, threatened Cao Tai-Di. If you make a sound, I'll stuff this into your mouth, understand? The other person was tied up, and Cao Tai-Di happily stripped him of his clothes. He-Han's expression remained serious and unchanged. Cao Tai-Di looked at He-Han and laughed. He-Han, you're even closer to me than my real dad. I never expected you to come rescue me. He-Han replied, stop wasting time. I only saved you by accident. Now hurry up and get him out of here. Cao Tai-Di cheerfully asked, He-Han, we've gotten him undressed, so let's go. Where's the car? Both of them stared at each other in confusion. What car? Didn't you come by car? You don't expect me to walk all the way down the mountain, do you? He-Han swung his arm, looking at Cao Tai-Di in a way that made him nervous. They both made their way to the hideout. He-Han, disguised in the clothes of an unconscious person, tried to blend in, while the guard at the door, looking annoyed, stood there smoking a cigarette. Of course, there was a car, but they had to steal it. Do you know which room Tang Sai Yao is in? Why is it taking so long? This guy's been dragging things out for ages. The 2 of them successfully slipped past the guard and brought him upstairs. Keep a close watch. Okay, Cao Tai Dan pointed to a door, signaling He Han. Tang Sai Yao is in this room. He Han calmly approached the door while Cao Tai Di whispered something to him. He Han slowly opened the door. Inside, a woman with a stunning figure was standing with her back to them. He Han felt a bit disappointed. The woman turned around, holding a plate of pastries. Well done. Just wait for me here. Hey, can you hurry up a bit? There are dozens of people in this building. He Han asked her seriously, so generous. That's not really his style. She smiled shyly, covering her mouth. Ha ha, you're so funny. Of course, I can't let you take it for free. Suddenly, she transformed into a monster. Her fingernails grew long and sharp. Her pupils shrank. You have to defeat me first if you want to take it. He Han asked her, how can your hands still transform like that? The system, which had long become a small spirit following him, explained she's a player in the game who has undergone a biological mutation, giving her the ability to mutate. He hand wiped the sweat off his brow and said, so even in this sword cultivation game can include things like this? I didn't expect this game of yours to be so powerful. I always thought it was just about cultivating immortality. Well, I guess that's not too bad. Huff. After all, I have endless space, so I can contain anything. A light-haired girl from Tang Sai Yao's side flew over and said, stop talking. He hand dodged her claws. Without striking back, he said, hey, can we just get to the point? Where did Tang Sai Yao go? Can you just tell me straight up? She attacked even more fiercely, her sole goal being to kill He Han. She hissed, wait until you're dead, then you'll know. Her claws swiped wildly, and her moves were quick and agile. He Han only dodged. He Han said, Humph, are all the girls in this game this stubborn? The system watched the two of them and said, you're able to avoid attacks quite impressively. No special equipment, no drugs, yet you're effortlessly dodging such fierce attacks. Your character's attributes have definitely evolved. He Han didn't act, feeling that this girl was already too weak. Speed up, you're moving too slowly. She gathered momentum and moved further away. Got skills. Then can you handle this move of mine? He acted surprised. Oh, you still have more tricks up your sleeve? She stuck out her tongue, which had turned into a shark drill, and what looked like a rhino horn grew from her mouth. It was incredibly grotesque, almost terrifying. He Han's eyes felt violated by the sight. I can't even look at you straight when you're like this. Despite that, she was still able to speak. Kill, kill, kill. He Han wasn't worried about himself. Instead, he focused on commenting on her appearance. How is it possible for you to still talk with your mouth looking like that? No, wait. The voice was clearly coming from the mouth below. She shouted loudly, I've put up with enough of your damn insults. Her move took her around him in the blink of an eye. He Han managed to dodge, but he came very close to getting scratched. This time was definitely different. Her speed was way too fast. She praised herself for being impressive, and even though he avoided the hit, she seemed proud. She flew up, stomping on the ceiling, which cracked under the pressure, then used it as leverage to spring toward He Han with a new attack. Several purple beams shot out from her, forming a net-like trap that seemed to aim specifically to prevent him from dodging. At this moment, He Han was still safe in a small corner of empty space. She was completely confident in this move of hers. Let's see how you dodge this one. The system was on high alert, constantly scanning left and right, its speed increasing with each passing second. If attacked, it could suffer severe damage. She hurriedly warned He Han, stop showing off, retreat now. Electric sparks flashed across her body, running from head to toe. She had no idea how she ended up behind He Han, but by the time she got there, he had already spoken. It's too late. Those sparks earlier had been the sign of He Han activating his dragon armor. She charged straight at him, but in the process, she accidentally broke the special horn growing from her body, injuring herself in the act. Lying there, she cried out in pain, not because He Han was showing off, but because he was right. Pride was a privilege of the strong. She might be fast, but she wasn't as resilient as he was. The system understood He Han's intentions. He had deliberately waited for her to rush in before activating his dragon armor to counter her attack. This was clearly a calculated plan. If he had acted earlier, wouldn't he have just alerted everyone? Outside, a deafening noise rumbled like thunder. He Han sensed something was wrong. This wasn't good. The sound was too loud. It might have drawn the attention of those outside. He Han arrived at Cao Tai Di's place. At that moment, he was only wearing shorts up to his thighs, and there was a glass door in front of him through which he could see below. He was waiting with anticipation. Oh my, you're finally here, he said. Noticing a few cars parked downstairs, he asked Cao Tai Di, what's going on here? Lin Fei's voice came through. It sounded like the police had arrived. He had asked Lin Fei, someone stole some props from the hotel. I've been chasing her all the way here. Do you see anyone acting suspiciously? He hand glanced at the door behind him in the room. The two of them opened it and ran inside. Cao Tai Di, Unable to wait any longer, was in a panic, his hair disheveled. "Is it done yet?" he asked. A girl had climbed up the wall, jumped through the window, and was there to steal more props. He threw the large ball into the air and shouted loudly, "Give me back my stuff." Xiangju fell to the ground. He walked over, clenched his fist as if to punch, but then saw another girl. "I've already dealt with 2 tonight. I don't mind handling 1 more. She gently touched He Han's chest without any fear, as if it was something she had done many times before. When he caught her in the act, she didn't hesitate, and with a smile, she confidently said, "Of course, he's the man I've always admired." He had froze for a moment, unsure of how to react. Ling Fi, standing a little further away, raised his gun and noticed He Xiangju standing there. It wasn't just her, though. There was something more going on here. Embarrassed, she quickly introduced herself. "My name is He Xiangju. I came all the way here to marry you." He Han was stunned, wanting to say something, but He Xiangju misunderstood him. She looked at him expectantly, and he couldn't help but feel annoyed. "Before marriage, that's not happening," he said firmly, almost yelling, "and definitely not more than that." He tried to shut down her fantasies, his voice cutting through the awkward moment. What I meant was her name. Lin Fi rushed forward and shoved He Xiangju away from He Han. "Stop talking nonsense. She's the liar who made you fall." "Ah!" Lin Fi pressed down on her body, looking directly at her. "Why did you secretly steal the landing gear? Are you working with Tang Sai Yao?" He turned her around to face him. "Don't lie. You took something precious from your fiancé. Yes, if you're caught, that counts as passing the test. It's a tradition from my thieves' clan." My thieves' clan? He Han had never heard of it before. The system could answer any question, and he quickly learned that the thieves' clan lived in the Feng continent's western valley. The clan consisted of 300 to 400 people, specializing in theft and had their own unique culture surrounding it. The clan wasn't skilled in combat, but they were experts in swimming, tracking, and gathering intelligence. He walked over and patted Lin Fi on the shoulder, signaling her to stop. Then he turned to He Xiangju and asked, "So, what exactly is this marriage test you're talking about?" She sat up and answered, "You are the hope for my people, the thieves, to break free from the Demon King's rule. It's said you're the only man who can defeat him. I want to marry you, and then invite you to go defeat the Demon King." He hand sat down across from her. "There are things that can be done even without feelings involved, let alone marriage. Honestly, I don't need to marry you to help you." He Xiangju sensed his hidden intentions and punched him upward from his chin. "That won't do. Unfortunately, marriage was a non-negotiable condition." She explained, "In our thief clan, we won't accept help from outsiders unless they're the person we marry." He Han went back to his usual relaxed demeanor. "Fine, we'll deal with this later. Let's just move on for now." He Xiangju happily agreed. "As long as you agree, it doesn't matter how long it takes. This is it. My people will finally be saved. My father even wanted to marry me off to the Demon King for peace. There's no way I'd marry him. Marrying you, a hero, is a lot more reliable. If that happens, it's not like He Xiangju is backing out of an engagement." He Han asked, "So, you're the one who kissed him?" "She can hide anything." "Yes, that's right. I didn't want to be the wife of that demon lord, so I ran away. The demon lord was someone with great power. If she went against him, would she end up with a good result?" He Han asked, "Aren't you afraid the demon lord will kill everyone in your clan?" She had prepared for this. "Don't worry, I've got it covered. I'll bring you back to take revenge for them. Consider it a compliment for someone like He Xiangju. You're really clever, aren't you?" The sound coming from the computer speaker was the conversation between He Han and his group. "That demon lord is really powerful?" "Extremely powerful. We can't fight him." Tang Sai Yao sat back casually in his chair. "The demon lord, huh? Interesting," he said, shuddering slightly. "Yeah." Suddenly, a girl was kneeling under Tang Sai Yao's desk, positioned between his legs. She looked up and asked, "Master, what's so interesting?" Tang Sai Yao lifted her chin. "Of course you're interesting." "Ha ha ha ha." He Han brought He Xiangju home to introduce her to Ren Junqi and Lu Ju, telling He Xiangju about the two of them beforehand. "Let me introduce you. This is Ren Junqi, and this is Lu Ju." The girl was friendly. "Hello, everyone. I'm He Xiangju, He Han's fiancé. I hope we can all get along well from now on." When the words fiancé were mentioned, Ren Junqi and Lu Ju both snapped angrily at He Han. "Fiancé?" Lu Ju said, "Who agreed to that?" He Xiangju added fuel to the fire. She didn't realize her words might affect He Han and continued naively, "What's wrong? Didn't you two already swear to be together forever?" He jumped up, saying, "Don't make decisions on your own like that." Lu Ju couldn't respond, so she grabbed her sword and declared a challenge. "I get it, you both want to fight me, right? No point talking anymore, just draw your swords. Only the strongest woman would have the right to mate." He Xiangju didn't back down either. All right then, the loser has to step down. Lu Ju responded, fine, if I lose, I'll stitch myself up. He Xiangju wasn't giving up, and he hand sighed in frustration. You two are going to ruin this peaceful home and end up sleeping on the streets. He went into the room, feeling helpless. Go ahead, destroy it. Whatever. I'm so tired. He received a call from Bao Panji and picked up the phone. Hello, how's it going? Bao Panji, sitting in front of a computer screen, replied, I've extracted the data behind the game, but I couldn't find any records about the biochemical invasion. This means she didn't come through the invasion route. If Tang Saiyao finds out about this, consequences will be extremely dangerous. He had agreed. Does this mean Tang Saiyao has figured out how to activate the portal? The worst case scenario could cause a lot of trouble for me. She just told him to be more cautious. If that's the case, then theoretically, he could summon any character from the game into the real world, and he would definitely do something even more serious. You need to be careful, and when the time comes, just face it head on. He replied to her, I got it. Don't worry. He lay back on the bed. Ha, what a troublesome opponent. Tang Saiyao, what exactly are you planning to do? In the laboratory, a team of professors and doctors were gathered. Tang Saiyao asked, Professor Zhang, how's the progress? The professor, with a thick beard, long hair, and only about 5 feet tall, stood next to the map. We're almost there. The person who invented this software is truly a genius. Just a little tweak and we'll be able to pinpoint the character's location in the game dimension and even pull them into our world. He seemed pretty intimidating. The doctors in the lab panicked as the demon lord appeared. Who summoned me here? Tang Saiyao and several bodyguards knelt and greeted him respectfully. Greetings, Lord Demon King. It was I who dared to summon you. I've just learned the whereabouts of your runaway fiancée, and I also know she's found someone to help her fight against you. If you're willing, we can join forces. Hehan was woken up by the noise downstairs. What's all this racket so early in the morning? Fao Tai Di stood outside the front door, facing Ren Junqi. Lu Ju and He Xiangju were mesmerized, staring without blinking, internally praising the sight before them, worried they might drown in their own saliva. She's truly as beautiful as an immortal, Hehan thought to himself. The chest, the waist, the hips. I wonder how Cao Tai Di's musicians feel about this. Cao Tai Di noticed them. He stepped out of the house, stretched and yawned, still blurry-eyed and not fully awake, asking the group, What's going on? Is someone getting married? The three of them turned to Hehan. Ren Junqi answered him. They said they came to see you. Do you know them? Cao Tai Di's attention sharpened when he heard the name. He was clearly surprised. Cao Tai Di. Without any shame, Cao Tai Di rushed forward, hugging Hehan's leg, calling out, Father He. He looked up at him, his eyes sparkling with sincerity. I didn't understand things back then, so I disrespected you. Please, Father, don't hold it against me. Hehan felt uncomfortable with this form of address. He corrected him sharply. Who's your father? I don't have a son like you. Don't call me that. Cao Tai Di released Hehan's leg, knelt down, and bowed deeply. I'll listen to everything you say. Yes, Father, from now on, I will follow your every word and repay the life you've given me. Hehan turned toward the house and said, Forget it. Let's go inside. Ren Junqi cheerfully replied, Let's have breakfast. Hehan grumbled. I don't even have an appetite. Cao Tai Di didn't go inside. He stopped and raised his voice. Wait, I have some important intel. Hehan wondered what it could be. Important intel. By now, everyone else had already gone inside. Cao Tai Di sat down looking tense. Hehan asked, What is it? What intel do you have? Cao Tai Di responded, When I was locked up by Tang Saiyao, I saw a professor who was also kidnapped. Hehan wanted to know more about this professor, so he asked, What's his name? Cao Tai Di had only been locked up and had happened to see the professor, so he couldn't have overheard his full name. He said, I only know his last name is Liu. He looks like Einstein. Tang Saiyao seemed to want him to help create something. He hand-turned to Bao Panji for more information about the professor. For her, this was a piece of cake. She said, Let me tell you, Liu Songjiang, a top expert in quantum mechanics from Dongming University, went missing 3 days ago, and no one knows where he is. Turns out he was kidnapped by Tang Saiyao. I don't know what drove him to do that. What could Tang Saiyao make him do? What else could he possibly do? It seems like his whole life has been about bringing others down and calculating what's best for himself. From this perspective, Bao Panji definitely doesn't look good. We need to catch him quickly. Hehan, distracted as he looked down at her, replied, That's right. Bao Panji stayed focused on the screen, but I can monitor the quantum waves. If they try anything, they'll definitely leave traces. She turned to him. Oh, and I have a gift for you. He blushed, quickly looking away and muttering a few words. Oh, okay. Bao Panji noticed his change in color. Why is your face so red? It's nothing. He hand-fanned himself with his hand. It must be too hot. Bao Panji walked over to the safe, calling out, "Wait here for a second. Let me grab it. Use this time to organize your thoughts." How strange. We've already shared so much, yet seeing her still makes my heart race like crazy. Bao Panji, wearing a 2-second short dress, lowered her head even more and said to him, "After what happened last time, I'm too scared to carelessly handle important things anymore." He had enjoyed watching the beautiful scene, feeling a bit regretful. It seemed like they were rushing last time, so he decided to develop things further. She took out a wooden box containing a 3-colored bracelet, green, yellow, and red, and handed it to him. "This is it. You should wear it." He hand put it on his wrist and asked, "How do I use this?" She replied, "Just try pressing it." As soon as his finger touched it, 3 beams of light intertwined shot out from the bracelet, growing bigger and surrounding his body. "What is this?" Bao Panji explained, "This is a virtual accessory bracelet I invented. It can transform the metal numbers of accessories into the bracelet. When you use it, you just need to activate it directly." The 3 intersecting beams of light shrank back, and he hand complimented, "This is impressive." Bao Panji continued, "It is especially useful for accessories with a time limit. I've discussed it with Lin Fei. To deal with Tang Sai Yao, we need to focus the resources on you." He hand widened his eyes when he heard his name, but she kept going. "I've already talked to the director about it. It should be possible to bring over all the metals and equipment we collected recently soon." Lin Fei slammed the table. "You can't be serious. What do you mean by that?" Lin Wanshan had a valid reason for refusing. "Calm down. This is just temporary, meant for the Secret Service Agency, but your father doesn't have the authority to handle it." Lin Fei stayed in position, still questioning him. "So, are you just letting this prop collect dust here, or are you waiting for Tang Sai Yao to come and steal it again?" Lin Wanshan replied seriously. "Mayor Liu called yesterday. He sent to focus resources on someone who is determined, has high moral character, respects the elderly, loves children, is committed to learning, gentle and graceful in demeanor, and stands out in leadership. He's the one who ensures the city's safety. He's at the top of the city, so I have to listen to him." Lin Fei suddenly realized that the person he was talking about wasn't him. The sound of laughter filled the room from both father and son. Ha ha ha. Liu Bo, holding a cigar, puffed out clouds of smoke and laughed. "Son, I got the stuff for you. Now it's all about how you handle it." Dongming City Mayor Liu Bo, holding gold in his hands, spoke proudly, "Don't worry, Dad. Who is this Tang Sai Yao anyway? Tomorrow I'll knock his head off. This guy is just some kid who won first place in the citywide elementary school writing contest, won a mayor's medal, and is known as an outstanding citizen and good youth in Dongming. Liu Chu-wen." Liu Bo carefully thought through the situation, considering the parts that weren't entirely clear. The intelligence agency can't find this person, and you still want to go after him tomorrow. Why not just aim for the sky while you're at it? Tang Sai Yao was always appearing and disappearing, making it a nightmare for anyone trying to track him down. Liu Chu-wen was worried. "You're right, Dad. So, what should we do now?" He Han and Tang Sai Yao were legendary rivals. There were plenty of rumors about them, some of which could be verified, but the easiest way to find out was to try it for yourself. If it didn't work, it wasn't much of a loss. Liu Bo was curious to test this. He had heard that Tang Sai Yao and this person named He Han were perfect enemies, so using He Han as bait would probably lure the person named Tang into the open. He Han was with Lin Fei and he asked her, "Why did he call me here?" Lin Fei made an unhappy face and said, "This jerk said I don't know how to use the props properly, so he asked me to come teach him. You're not even close with Mr. Liu, so why all the formality? Does Mr. Liu really care about learning this stuff?" Liu Chu-wen was on the phone. "Sister Xu, can you give me a headline in the next 2 days?" Yes, I got some really hot news. I'll treat you to a meal next time." "Ha ha, bye." He finished speaking, put his phone in his pocket, and waved his hand in greeting. "Well, this guy must be our great hero, right? He Han." Normally, Liu Chu-wen would extend his hand to shake He Han's. He hesitated for a moment. "Ah, my name is He Han, but calling me a hero, I'm not sure about that." Liu Chu-wen grabbed his hand. "You're definitely a hero. The most reliable protector in our city. No amount of praise could be enough." He Han sniffed awkwardly, feeling shy. "I really can't accept that. Haha." Lin Fei didn't speak to this person or join in. She was suspicious. What's this guy really up to? Someone from Liu Chu-wen's team brought out a tray full of gold. He said, "I'm not very capable, and I've been nominated to take on this position. Honestly, I'm really worried, but I still need to invite the great hero He to help me improve my skills." He Han asked him back, "Are you sure you want to do this yourself? This isn't a game. People can get hurt." Liu Chu-wen adjusted his glasses, looking earnest. I've been chosen by the people to take on this role. Of course, I must dedicate myself, even put my life on the line to repay the country." He pounded his chest and said, "If I don't go to hell, who will? The people have forgotten me." The light shining on Liu Chu-wen made He Han and Lin Fei squint, covering their faces. "Damn, what is this new gimmick? I can't even look at it." The three of them turned around and Liu Chu-wen asked, "What's going on?" A filming crew showed up to shoot a video. You hold the camera and praise Liu Chu-wen nonstop, speaking from the heart. Make it so moving that people will cry. Talk about justice and bravery, stir up emotions. Make it perfect. This is someone Liu Chu-wen personally invited. He ordered quick, edit the footage, make it look good, and send it to the TV station. "We need it ready for tonight's primetime broadcast." His team hurried off to get the job done. Yes, sir. It was all so exaggerated that it bordered on ridiculous. He had reminded him, "Well, Liu, you really do pay attention to the little details." Anyway, let's get started with the teaching part. I actually have some experience I'd like to share. Liu Chu-wen sighed, looking exhausted. "Oh my god, I've been standing for so long, I'm about to die." His people quickly brought over a chair and some wine for him to rest, saying to the two of them, "Honestly, I really don't want to be involved in this kind of nonsense." Lin Fei said to him, "You're trying to act all pitiful, but you're just getting fewer benefits. If it worked for the country selecting elite superpowered fighters from all over, people like you, who are clearly only out for personal gain, would never have a chance to get involved." He Han asked her, "Elite superpowered fighters?" Lin Fei explained, "That's insider information. I heard it's a decision made directly by the top leadership. Once you're chosen, it's like bringing glory to your ancestors. Basically a fast track to the top." Liu Chu-wen, holding a glass of wine, responded to Lin Fei, "You've misunderstood. I'm not at all interested in some national team selection. If my old man hadn't pushed me so hard, I wouldn't be involved in this mess at all. But I do have some abilities." He pulled a piece of paper from his jacket pocket. "For example, I've already found out the whereabouts of Tang Sai-yao." He Han asked in surprise, "Really?" Liu Chu-wen smiled. "When someone like me with money gets involved, even Tang Sai-yao's family background can be dug up. I have an entire team working on this. I have connections in both the underworld and the legitimate world, so finding out about someone is hardly a challenge. He's hiding here. You should go take care of him now." He handheld the paper and stared at it closely. Why hadn't Liu Chu-wen acted himself and instead left it to him? It almost felt like he was being used as a shield. But without a second thought, He Han simply asked, as it was the obvious thing to ask, "If you've already investigated, why don't you just go arrest him?" Liu Chu-wen leisurely sat back in his chair and had his men pour him some wine. "The risk is too high, and it's not necessary. If I can handle Tang Sai-yao right now, the old man won't blame me. Besides, I'm still getting used to the way things work, not officially in charge yet." Lin Fei asked him, "Is the information reliable?" Liu Chu-wen confirmed again, "If it turns out to be wrong, you two can come after me, and I'll give my life to make it right." He Han quickly turned and rushed off, hurrying to tell Lin Fei, "Let's go. If you need backup in case of an emergency, I'll call the department and request reinforcements." He Han didn't want to alert Tang Sai-yao. Not only would backup not help, it could make things more chaotic. They might not be able to do anything and could end up making things worse. Let's just head straight there. As soon as they left, Liu Chu-wen darkened, turning to his subordinates. "Start the operation at the checkpoint now." They responded, "Understood." The two of them arrived at the location Liu Chu-wen had mentioned on the paper, the abandoned water plant on the outskirts. They were still in the car. Lin Fei said to He Han, "According to Liu Chu-wen's intel, Tang Sai-yao is hiding in that water plant." He Han relaxed, resting both hands behind his neck. "No rush. Let's see what game he wants to play first." Lin Fei asked, "What do you mean?" Liu Chu-wen was someone who really cared about appearances. He wasn't a particularly good person, but he liked to talk about saving the world and helping others to gain favor with people. He was the type who couldn't help but put on a show, but then when the chance came to actually prove himself, he passed it off to me. This was so obvious. How could I not see something was off? He was all about building his image, so how could he let me take the lead in catching Tang Sai-yao? "He's been talking so much because he just wants me to obediently come here," He Han said. Lin Fei was almost ready to bow down to him. He hadn't expected him to play the role so perfectly. He'd already noticed the oddness early on, yet still played along. Liu Chu-wen had wanted He Han to act this way, so he went along with it. If he wanted to play mind games, then let's play along. He guessed maybe he planned to use me as bait to lure Tang Sai-yao out. I'm really curious how he's going to pass on the news that I'm here at Tang Sai-yao. Lin Fei answered the phone. "Hello." A voice on the other end replied, "Officer Lin, there's a problem with the electricity on the patrol side, and all surveillance equipment has been disabled. The suspect who tripped the circuit breaker has escaped." Lin Fei was surprised. "What?" The person at the station continued, the people you arrested 2 days ago from Mai Shan are also missing. He had understood now. It was clear that they had used these underlings to send a message. Lin Fi quickly said, get the police force together and start a citywide search. The person on the other end responded, understood. Meanwhile, Tang Sai Yao's underlings were kneeling before him, reporting that the situation with the guards was chaotic and everyone had run off. Their people had used the opportunity to escape as well. Things were not looking good for Tang Sai Yao. One of his men pleaded, please, boss, give us another chance. Let us stay and work for you. His closest subordinate whispered in his ear, we checked. They're not carrying anything suspicious. The police are conducting a citywide manhunt right now. You don't think they intentionally leaked the information, do you? Tang Sai Yao asked again. They say He Han is hiding in the abandoned water plant on the outskirts. The subordinate confidently said, that's right. Last night, I heard it myself. Someone from the Secret Service said so. Last night, when I was still behind bars, I heard it with my own ears. The prison warden happened to walk by, talking on the phone with someone on the other end. I couldn't go out for drinks last night. I had to head to the abandoned water plant on the outskirts to keep an eye on He Han. He's moved there now, probably because he's afraid of an assassination attempt. Tang Sai Yao isn't stupid. In fact, he's pretty smart. If it worked for the subordinate, who let it slip, he would have never figured it out on his own. And now he's trying to act clever. Haha, so that's what it is. He's really bad at pretending, isn't he? You think you can trap me with this trick? A close associate asked him. Best to just ignore it. Tang Sai Yao has his own plans. Whether this is a trap or not, He Han will definitely show up there. And that's enough. With that high-ranking official there, any tricks won't work. The bald man, a subordinate of Lu Chu-wen, flattered him. Young master, you're brilliant. Whether it's Tang Sai Yao or He Han, you're leading them both around by the nose. They both think they're playing the part of the great hero trying to save the world. He smugly sipped his tea. Hey, just wait until those two start fighting each other until they're all bruised and battered, and then I'll suddenly show up like a hero out of nowhere, defeating all my opponents and becoming a legendary figure. After that, I'll just sit back and enjoy the drama. Lin Fi observed through the binoculars, anxiously telling He Han, it's here, it's here. He sat in the passenger seat, calm and collected, and asked her, is it Tang Sai Yao? She took another look before replying, yes, that's him. He Han wanted to see how far this little drama would go. The main actor had shown himself, so it was time for the supporting cast to make their appearance. He called the system. A girl with 2 braids and blue hair appeared and asked, why did you call me? He Han, a favorite, asked, Lu Chu-wen has probably set up some spies around to report the situation. Help me look around and find them. The system refused coldly. I told you before, I'm just an observer. I can't get directly involved. If you want to find something, you go look for it yourself. He Han whispered into her ear, looks like the handsome guy's strategy is working. If you help me this time, next time I'll play the role for you. The system replied, deal. He continued, no backing out. The system looked at Lin Fi with a hungry expression. Hey, she felt something was off. Why are they looking at me like that? The system immediately flew away from the car and said to the two of them, just wait for my update. Once it was out of sight, He Han took the chance to talk bad about her. This system may have some weird preferences, but it was still pretty simple-minded. Lin Fi's face darkened, and she muttered, what exactly did you two say just now? Tang Sai Yao's subordinates who were searching according to his orders reported, boss, there's no one here, and we haven't found anyone else either. There's nothing on my end. A close associate standing next to Tang Sai Yao spoke up, what kind of move is this? We walked right into their trap, and now they're not even trying to catch us. Tang Sai Yao stayed calm. His subordinate brought him a chair, and he reassured his men, don't rush. Let's just wait here. Liu Chu-wen's people were observing the situation from above and called to report. Tang Sai Yao had sat down, but He Han still hadn't shown up. Liu Chu-wen, on his way there, had his head wrapped in a ribbon with the word victory written on it. If He Han still hadn't arrived, this was going to hurt. Liu Chu-wen shouted angrily, what, damn it, where did He Han go? I'm on my way there right now. If he's not showing up, what's the point of me even going? On this side, one of his subordinates was still observing with binoculars and said, He Han might have run away a long time ago. That bastard probably saw things weren't going well and took off. But He Han was right behind him. Turning to Liu Chu-wen, he realized the situation was too risky. If he kept going, everything would be over. He told the driver, driver, turn around ahead. No risks today. His man turned the steering wheel. Yes, master. On the other end of the line, his subordinate said, wait a minute, it's He Han. He Han has appeared. Liu Chu-wen asked in surprise, really? His subordinate explained. The two of them met and started fighting fiercely, both going all in. The situation is out of control. Liu Chuwen felt a bit relieved. Everything was going according to the original plan. He praised himself. I really am good at making plans. How is it there's a man as smart as me in this world? He also praised his subordinate. Well done. I'm on my way now. He didn't go to fight Tang Sai Yao. Instead, he went after Liu Chuwen's underling to force him into confessing of false information. The underling was clearly terrified. His face was swollen like a pig's head, bruised all over, and he said to He Han, "Ha ha, bro, I've done what you told me. Can I leave now?" Lin Fidi held the handcuffs, waiting for him. He Han said, "Punish him. Of course we'll punish him." 10 minutes after Liu Chuwen and the driver arrived at the abandoned factory, everything was strangely quiet. Nothing like the chaotic battle that had just taken place. The driver noticed something was off and told him, "Young master, there's no noise coming from inside the factory." Liu Chuwen trusted his subordinates and he was certain everything had been settled. He said, "No need to say more, by now the outcome is clear." Humph. Liu Chuwen didn't want to just sit in the car and wait around. Confident, he got out of the vehicle and said, "A bunch of trash, your grandfather is here to clean you up." When he looked up, he saw Tang Sai Yao and a few of his associates also waiting for someone. Unable to hold back, he shouted, "The situation is still in order like this." Tang Sai Yao didn't know Liu Chuwen and found his words ridiculous. Where did this idea come from? One of Tang Sai Yao's close associates spoke for him, calling over his men to bring Liu Chuwen over. The group walked up to him. Understood. Liu Chuwen knew he couldn't beat Tang Sai Yao, so he tried to escape. As soon as he turned around, his traitorous subordinate drove off, leaving him behind. Liu Chuwen shouted, "Wait, I haven't even gotten in the car yet. Stop." He turned around and looked at Tang Sai Yao's people, feeling nervous and flustered. He had no choice but to try to act tough and scare them off. Don't think I'm easy to mess with. Come at me. Are you all just gonna stand there like scared cats? Ha ha. Tang Sai Yao's men stayed silent. They weren't fooled by Liu Chuwen's bluster. It didn't take long before they beat him, until he was crying for mercy. Please, Dad, spare me." The bald man stepped on him, sneering, "Why are you acting so tough?" Liu Chuwen screamed, "It hurts. It hurts." He was lying on the ground in front of Tang Sai Yao, who asked, "Where's He Han?" Liu Chuwen sobbed, "I don't know, that little punk tricked me." Tang Sai Yao was pleased with his answer. "If He Han isn't too far, it won't be hard to catch him. If he tricked you, he's probably nearby watching the show. That makes things easier." At that moment, He Han and Lin Fi were standing on a nearby hill. She asked him, "Are we going over there?" He Han remained highly alert, refusing to follow Liu Chuwen's advice. He said, "I don't trust Liu Chuwen." With all the resources at his disposal, he still couldn't force Tang Sai Yao to make a move. We still don't know how strong Tang Sai Yao truly is. For now, let's stay calm. We'll track them later and find out where their hideout is. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out from behind, sending a shiver down He Han's spine. It was Tang Sai Yao's voice. "At last, I found you." A massive explosion erupted. Tang Sai Yao stood below, looking up with a smug expression. "Look, the prey has entered the tiger's sights." He Han swiftly grabbed Lin Fi and leaped down, dodging the explosion. "Oh!" A deep voice echoed as a shadowy figure approached. "Quick on your feet. I'll give you that. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't have survived." The person on the ground lay motionless, badly injured, their clothes torn and tattered. He Han replied casually, "You flatter me." Lin Fi, still in his arms, was a bit stunned. She looked at him, wanting to ask something. He Han, you're not..." He Han sternly asked, "System, did this person also escape from the game?" The system quickly responded, "Yes, that's correct." An information panel appeared. Lord of the Abyss, level 9, attributes, dark. Health, 1300, combat power, 650, defense, 200, speed, 170, critical hit, 13, mental strength, 90. He Han sighed in amazement. At this level, he could crush me from over there. The system continued, "Draw a card. This time, I'll elevate your fate to its highest level." He Han set Lin Fi down and said seriously, he won't give me a chance. Lin Fi, standing beside him, couldn't help but worry. What do you plan to do? He Han turned back to ask, "Lord of the Abyss, what's your purpose in coming to this world? If you're just bored, there are plenty of fun things to do. No need to team up with Tang Sai Yao." The Demon Lord gritted his teeth in anger. "So you're the cuckold of that thieving woman? The greatest pleasure for me is making you two adulterers wish you could live but can't, and wish you could die but can't." He Han froze when he heard the name of that woman. He Chang-ju. She really did cause his death. The Demon King, filled with fury and murderous intent, stared at him and continued. As for what comes after I kill you all, this world is too boring. I'll start by wiping out half of humanity. I love the smell of fear in the air. He-Han didn't show any reaction, calmly replying, is that so? A few years ago, someone else thought the same way. Do you know what happened to him afterward? The Demon King quickly asked, what happened to him? He-Han tossed the teleportation portal book at Lin Fei's feet, and the portal opened. Lin Fei, panicked, called out to him, He-Han, close that book. The Demon King, surprised that He-Han wasn't running, asked, why aren't you running with him? He-Han replied, at this distance, even if my body jumps down, you'd still keep my head here. Hearing this, the Demon King couldn't help but compliment him. That's right, you're really smart. He-Han continued, the one who was in the way is gone, now it's time to move on. Armor materialized around him, enveloping his body. Let's begin. The Demon King looked at him with a wicked smile, gathering his strength in his hand while he formed a defensive barrier. The Demon King attacked him. The Demon King launched his strike toward He-Han. The armor on He-Han's body slowly began to disappear. Seeing that He-Han still had the strength to resist, the Demon King couldn't help but sneer. Instead of using just one finger like before, he now used 2 fingers. Are you trying to play the praying mantis blocking a car? He-Han was a little stunned at this, and with the addition of another finger, the power behind the attack grew exponentially. His defensive barrier was shattered. Tang Sai Yao stood below the cliff, observing, when suddenly something fell down. One of Tang Sai Yao's subordinates saw this and asked, what fell down? He-Han let out a soft groan, his body badly injured, with one of his arms trapped under a large rock, unable to move. Seeing him in this state, the system couldn't help but advise, He-Han, stop resisting. You should escape while you can. But He-Han was determined. No, if he can't find me, he'll go on a killing spree. The Demon King soared into the air, casting a sideways glance at him, and unleashed a decisive move. It's over. He-Han lay still, and the others around him couldn't help but feel a sense of fear. Lord Demon King. A massive explosion erupted, flames raged, and thick black smoke filled the air. The Demon King looked down from above, observing everything. Tang Sai Yao also flew up and stood behind him, showing deep respect. Lord Demon King is so powerful. Destroying that bastard He-Han is as easy as flipping a coin. The Demon King felt something was off and quickly corrected him. That's not right. He's still alive. Tang Sai Yao, stunned, couldn't believe it. No way. The people down there, including my subordinates, were torn apart. Even if he's wearing armor, there's no way he could survive that attack. The Demon King thought for a moment and then said, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just my imagination. He-Han suddenly woke up, letting out a soft groan. He sat up, rubbing his head, and wondered, did I die? At that moment, the system appeared. Dream on. If you were dead, how would my game be completed? Hearing this, he asked, a replica. The system took the form of a human and continued, in an emergency, I could only pull you into the replica to hide for now. It then explained further, I've chosen a level E replica for you. It's the easiest difficulty suitable for players level 7 and above. There shouldn't be a big problem. He-Han tried to stand up. On one side, the system continued advising him. The flow of time in this replica is 1/10 of the real world. You should train here a few more times to improve your attributes before going out. He-Han cracked his knuckles and asked the system, I knew it. Where's the boss? The system pointed him in the right direction. I remember it's probably a black-headed bear monster. The surroundings also look different from what I remember. You should check around. He-Han spotted a cave not far away. The monster information popped up. Replica level D suitable for players level 10 and above. The golden spiked earth dragon is asleep. The women, seeing Lin Fei return, couldn't help but worry. What happened? Lin Fei was gasping for air, struggling to catch her breath. Ha! Finally, she calmed down and shouted, He-Han, something's wrong. Come with me quick. As He-Han walked, he asked the system again. I'm going to pull a few more cards, get some equipment, and then go deal with him. Is that okay? The system floated beside him and responded. Before, there was a big difference in levels between you two. No matter how much equipment you get, it's hard to make up for the lack of strength. He-Han thought for a moment and asked, how many more stages do I need to clear to reach level 9? The system quickly calculated and replied, if things go smoothly, about 30 more times you should do it. His face showed a confused expression. Isn't this a bit much? Can't we just go straight to a higher level copy? The system, arms crossed and coldly staring at him, replied, young man, you have to work within your limits. With your current skill level, facing the boss in a D-level copy will definitely get you killed. This copy still has a few low-level creatures that are easy to deal with. All you need to do is focus on finding the boss. Behind him, the goblin was perched on a tree branch, watching. Suddenly, it grabbed a stick and leaped down to attack him. He quickly glanced at the system and asked, "Is this the boss?" The system responded quickly, "Just a wild monster. You can handle it easily." Before the system could finish, the goblin attacked him, forcing him to dodge to the side. One strike for the goblin cracked the ground around them into pieces. The system finally finished its sentence, "You've driven it away now." He stood frozen slightly in disbelief. This was the real power of a wild monster? The creature immediately launched another vicious attack toward him. He quickly summoned his dragon armor, raising it to defend against the blow. His body trembled slightly as he asked the system once more, "Are you sure you're not mistaken?" At that moment, the system realized its mistake. "Wait a second, you're right, something's off." A new information screen appeared. Raging Goblin, level 6, wood attribute. Health, 900, attack, 250, defense, 70 speed, 50. Critical hit rate, 3, mental strength, 40. Only then did the system confirm that this was indeed a boss. He quickly steeled himself, ready for battle. After searching high and low for it, he didn't even have to put in the effort. This boss had come right to his door, one level below him, making it the perfect opportunity to level up his skills. The system felt a bit confused. "That's strange. Did I design a boss fight with a raging goblin?" He tossed out 3 cards to choose from, drew one, and landed on an equipment card. The raging goblin continued its attack. Hissing with fury, he quickly slashed, unable to hold back a compliment. "Good sword. Congratulations, player, you've obtained the legendary SS Thunderstrike equipment. Lightning attribute, attack plus 1500 with a chance to trigger an electric critical hit. The chance decreases with each attack. Energy storage can be restored." The goblin, furious, grabbed the half of the staff and attacked again. Hehehe. He reminded the goblin, "Losing your weapon makes you clumsy, huh? You're leaving yourself wide open." He swung his sword at the goblin. As the battle ended, he raised his sword and looked at it, feeling a sense of awe. That felt pretty great. The system interface popped up, and when he saw it, he couldn't help but smile. 500 experience points, so this is what it means to make money through bloodshed. The system quickly notified him, "See, I told you, grinding in the dungeon helps you level up." User stats not yet determined, profession not yet determined, level 6, attack 210, defense 90, speed 80, critical hit 9, mental strength 50, EXP 997/1400. He quickly asked the system, "So, do I need to wait for the dungeon to reload before I can fight again after the goblins and bosses respawn?" The system found this idea interesting. That works too. Though the experience will be a bit less next time, the results will still be pretty good. Both of them heard some noise and turned around to see the goblins charging toward them, one after another. He is totally caught off guard. He asked the system, "Is it really okay for there to be this many bosses?" At that moment, the system realized something was off. "I get it now. You must have entered the wrong dungeon. These crazy goblins are just low-level mobs. The real boss hasn't even shown up yet." He couldn't help but shout, "Are you kidding me? Level 6 here, and these are considered low-level. Then how powerful must the real boss be?" The system, still confused, replied, "I'm not sure what happened either. Maybe you rushed in and accidentally entered the wrong entrance." He gripped the sword tightly in his hand, his mind focused and ready for battle. "Come on, if you're not afraid of dying, then give it a try." The monsters hissed and hissed, then turned and ran away. He let out a sigh of relief. Finally scared them off. The system hesitated before revealing the truth to him. They weren't scared off by you. A massive monster appeared, and he turned to look, astonished. The suffocating pressure filled the air. It was a golden armored earth dragon. The info screen for the golden armored earth dragon popped up. Golden armored earth dragon, level 10, metal attribute, health value 1900, attack power 850, defense 400, speed 40, critical hit 20, mental strength 130. He felt a bit disheartened. The monster seemed pretty calm for now. "Since it's not attacking me yet, get me out of this instance as quickly as possible." The system, hearing this, quickly offered him 2 options. To leave this instance, there are only 2 ways. One is for you to die, the other is for it to die. Hearing this, Gihan couldn't help but get angry. What kind of rules were these? "Thanks a lot for that, really." The system, noticing his anger, panicked. "Well, dying in the instance isn't a big deal. You'll respawn in the real world, but you'll lose some experience points." He quickly changed his mind. "Whose experience points are that high? I should just go kill a few more goblins to earn some extra XP, and then I can come back and commit suicide with the Earth Dragon." The system kept praising him. "Great idea, you're really quick on the uptake." The 2 of them turned around, ready to leave, but suddenly felt something behind them, like some kind of force, almost as if it was preparing to attack. They both spun around to look. He-Han couldn't help but exclaim it was so calm just now. Why does it want to attack now? The system seemed to catch on and reminded him, it doesn't want you to leave. The Earth Dragon's golden armor-covered mouth opened, attacking with a torrent of fine wine, trying to keep him there. The attack shattered everything in its path, creating a small pit that seemed to stretch endlessly. The system kept calling his name He-Han. He-Han tried to raise his hand, using all his strength to respond to the system, I'm here. His armor was shattered halfway, but he struggled to sit up. I'm not dead, I'm still breathing. He crawled out of the pit. Lucky I activated the Azure Dragon armor in time, or I'd be dead for sure. Warning, the durability of the Azure Dragon armor has decreased by 40%. The damage to the Azure Dragon armor is too great. If you keep fighting, you'll definitely die. He-Han turned his head slightly to look back at the spot they had been. It was far enough now. It couldn't catch up right. Besides, it seemed like it wouldn't be able to move too easily. The system felt a bit awkward, scratching its head and hesitating before saying, when we designed this, we added it to make up for its slow movements, so I deliberately included an extra skill. He-Han asked again, what skill? The golden armored Earth Dragon opened its mouth once more and used the black hole suction move. Hearing this, He-Han could only swear holy shit. The suction force pulled him in, and he tried to anchor himself by staking his sword into the ground. He-Han shouted, System, whose side are you really on? The system quickly retorted, I never expected to use it on you. Standing nearby, the system advised, stop struggling, just let go. But He-Han refused to compromise. No way, my Azure Dragon armor is already damaged. If it gets downgraded any further, I won't stand a chance against that Deep Lord. He-Han yelled, hurry up and find something that can help. The system quickly opened a small portal to search for an item. Let me see what I can find. The ground beneath the tip of the sword cracked open and his entire body stiffened. Ah! The system called his name. He-Han. He couldn't hold back and decided to fight back. You're annoying, take this. His strike hit the golden armored Earth Dragon's forehead. Then he soared up onto the Azure Dragon armor. The golden armored Earth Dragon's mouth clamped shut, signaling the end of the attack. The system was stunned. It's over, it's really over. The system's body began to fade. Ha! This time I think you've dropped to level 3. Suddenly, the golden armored Earth Dragon froze and opened its mouth wide. Then it froze again, and the system was a bit surprised. What's going on? Thousands of golden beams pierced through the golden armored Earth Dragon's body, causing it to explode into pieces. From the shattered bones, He-Han emerged, his clothes torn and ragged. One hand held the sword, while the other wiped his face in exhaustion. The Azure Dragon armor, it really saved my life. The system's scoreboard popped up, congratulating him. Congratulations, player. You have cleared the D-level copy. The golden armored Earth Dragon is now asleep. You've earned rare materials. Dragon's Bone, 14. Muscle Strength, 15x stronger, which can be used to repair defensive armor. You've earned an A-level Phantom Badge, Dragon Scales, 11, which can increase defense by 30% and also provide 10% healing from damage. You've earned the title of Dragon Slayer. When equipped, it boosts all attributes by 30%. If your opponent is from the dragon race, it boosts your attributes by 100%. Congratulations to the player for leveling up twice in a row, becoming the first player in the world to reach level 8 EXP, 1970 out of 2000. The durability of the dragon armor has only decreased by 1. Should I discard it? He had looked at the shattered armor with only the gloves still intact. It's been tough, my brother. I promise I won't abandon you. Suddenly he shouted, using all of his strength and dragon bone power to repair the dragon armor. He added dragon scales to enhance its magical power. The armor was surrounded by gold energy, upgrading. The energy poured down into the ground, so powerful that it caused the earth to crack open. He-Han couldn't help but be amazed. The system then reminded him, congratulations, player. You obtained the SX grade Dragon Holy Armor. Passive skill, True Dragon Gold Armor. Active skill, Dragon Breath Blaze. The system in awe continued. This is a holy great treasure. There are only 99 of these in the entire game world, and you're only at level 8. What a twist. He-Han's face suddenly grew dangerous. Now, he could return and settle things with that Abyss Lord. The dangerous laughter of newly rich individuals echoed through the headquarters of the Secret Service. Everyone couldn't help but be shocked. Why are we told to hide here? Lin Fi stood to the side, arms crossed, and answered, He-Han transported me here to be with you. His goal is for me to protect your safety. Only the Secret Service headquarters can withstand them. Lu Jiu disagreed with Lin Fi's viewpoint. Are you underestimating us? I could wipe out this place on my own. You better tell us He-Han's location so we can help him. He-Xiang Jiu chimed in as well. Exactly. If something happens to him, how will I be able to help him continue his family line? Lin Fi spoke up to calm everyone down. There's a system in place there. He won't be in any danger. This Secret Service headquarters is different from before. We prepared targeted weapons. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the building, creating a huge hole. The enemy launched a surprise attack. Alert! The military was on high alert, guns aimed at Tang Sai-yao. He slowly approached and advised, "Listen up, brothers. Let me give you some advice. That little bit of money isn't worth risking our lives for. Come work for me and I'll help you reach the peak of your life." The others refused to back down and shouted, "Should we open fire?" One of the underlings stepped forward, using a defensive technique to block the attack. Tang Sai-yao calmly ordered, "Kill them." The underlings rushed forward to attack the soldiers. The sound of the clash was deafening, echoing violently. It felt like the noise itself was trying to take someone's life. The others inside the building watched the situation unfold. Bao Panji stood next to the sonic wave transmitter. Even though she was equipped with a special device, humans were still just normal beings. When facing an attack from sonic weapons, no defense would work. Tang Sai-yao couldn't hold back and cursed, "Bao Panji, you damn woman, helping the Secret Service against me." He Xiang-ju and Ren Junqi high-fived, unable to hide their excitement. "This is amazing. What kind of weapon is this? It's powerful. We've won." Lin Fi, however, thought things wouldn't be that simple. It couldn't be this easy. Where's the Lord of the Abyss? Where is he hiding? Suddenly, Lin Fi thought of something. Could it be? Tang Sai-yao said, "The enemy ambush has appeared. It's your turn now." Lin Fi gripped her lute tightly and shouted, "Look up! Look up! Watch the sky!" Bao Panji and the two doctors were a little surprised. The sky. The demon lord hovered in the sky, exuding killing intent. Interesting, but he pointed a finger toward the building, starting to demolish it. "Is that all?" Lu Ju rushed forward to fight back. "Give me back my man." She swung her sword at the demon lord, her eyes burning with rage as she added, "Give him back to me." Ren Junqi formed a protective shield around Bao Panji and attacked head-on. "We've won." The demon lord spoke with disdain, looking at Lu Ju. "You're truly a foolish woman." Lu Ju froze, staring at her shattered sword. He Xiang-ju gripped his knife tightly, silently attacking from behind. While the demon lord wasn't paying attention, he continued to mock Lu Ju from the side. "You're so weak. You can't even take a single hit." The knife pierced through the demon lord, but he still growled, "I still want you to die." The demon king reached out and grabbed He Xiang-ju's face, his voice dripping with venom. "You wicked woman, daring to disrespect my authority by attempting to steal souls. I'll kill you first, then go back and tear apart every limb of your people. I want to see how you squirm and crawl on the ground like maggots. This is the only joy I have. Ha ha ha." He Xiang-ju couldn't help but curse under her breath. Damn it, what a disgusting monster. She kept asking over and over again, "Where is He Han? My hero, where are you?" Suddenly, He Han appeared out of nowhere, punching the Demon King square in the face. The blow was so strong that the Demon King didn't even have time to react before crashing to the ground. Tang Sai-yao was stunned, clearly in disbelief that He Han was still alive. You. Lin Fi sighed in relief. "Phew, I knew he was tougher than that." Then she realized, wait, why did I say tougher? Lu Ju couldn't help but comment, "This guy sure knows how to make an entrance at the right moment." The Demon King pushed himself up from the rubble, glaring at He Han. "How are you still alive, you little rat?" He Han held He Xiang-ju in his arms and looked directly at the Demon King, saying, "I went to hell for a visit, but unfortunately they didn't accept me, so I'm back to switch places with you. Now that I'm standing right in front of you, take a good look and see how much I've changed." Tang Sai-yao was surprised. When did this guy learn to fly? Suddenly, the system popped up a warning. "Flight can only be maintained for about 1 minute. You should stop showing off and land quickly." He Han was a bit panicked when he heard that. "What? Why didn't you say something earlier?" The Demon King started launching an attack at the two of them. "What are you mumbling about?" He Han held Xiang-ju tightly as they fell, shouting, "We're falling." Bao Panji, witnessing this, yelled out to him, "He Han, be careful." By this point, He Han had successfully landed, but managed to twist his body. 2 vines suddenly shot up from the ground and wrapped tightly around his legs. He panicked and asked, "What's this now?" Tang Sai-yao stood calmly to the side, complimenting him, "Well done." The lackey, full of himself, said confidently, "Huff, no one can break my steel vines. He's definitely done for." The building nearby exploded with a huge blast. Lin Fi shouted He Han's name, feeling a sense of relief. After all, he had been completely drained by the Lord of the Abyss's earlier attack. Why was this idiot trying to dig his own grave? "The Demon King," he said with a hint of pride, "I don't think you'll be able to escape this time. This time you'll really be crushed to pieces. Letting you die like this is a bargain for you." Tang Sai Yao turned to praise his underling. Well done, you've achieved a great feat. The underling quickly thanked him. Thank you, big brother. He Han, holding He Xiang Ju behind him, quietly sighed. That was close. Hearing the sound from behind, the two turned around, their eyes widening in shock. They spoke in unison. How did you get here? He replied calmly, if there's no way out, I just followed the tunnel and came through. The underling shouted loudly, damn it, go protect the boss. At that moment, He Xiang Ju had already left He Han's arms and moved forward to fight back. You think these trash can even match the main character? He Han, surprised, murmured, oh. Meanwhile, Ren Junqi also started to attack. Ah, yes, exactly. Everyone get back. Lu Jiu quickly joined the fray. Anyone in my way will die. Tang Sai Yao, panicking, turned to the Demon King and pleaded, Demon King, please kill these women first. The Demon King angrily shouted, noisy creature. At that moment, 3 gates of power opened, attacking everyone. The 3 of them couldn't react in time, and suddenly, He Han stood up in front to block the attack. The Demon King's face showed disbelief as he said, what? My divine flame was actually repelled by you? He had ignored the Demon King's words and focused on the sword in his hand. He hadn't been able to strike earlier, but now he decided to test it out and proved to be highly effective. Tang Sai Yao was so angry he couldn't even speak, silently thinking to himself, what the hell happened to this guy while he was gone? Not only has his strength skyrocketed, but even his weapon. At that moment, the Demon King used all of his strength to attack. This was impossible. He had to make He Han die now. He Han only used a single sword strike to counter. Seeing how confident he was, the Demon King couldn't help but laugh mockingly. You really think you can threaten me with this weak move of yours? Suddenly, the Demon King realized something. No, this wasn't right. If that strike landed, it would kill him for sure. The Demon King fell flat on the ground once again, thinking, this is too dangerous. He Han quickly moved closer to the Demon King, raising his sword, ready to finish him off. The Demon King, however, continued taunting, stop showing off. The lighting power in your sword is already drained. It's just a useless piece of iron now. You won't be able to hurt me with that. Ha ha ha. He Han responded seriously. First of all, my sword can still cut through you, even without its magic. Secondly, who says the power of lightning can't return? It's coming back again. He Han absorbed the power, raising his sword high. Are you satisfied now? But I've never met anyone who could deceive me. I've been roaming the other world for 800 years, facing countless powerful beings and fierce enemies like you. His attack hit the Demon King directly, causing a huge explosion. He Han's lightning strike caught the Demon King off guard, leaving him defenseless and unable to recover, lying motionless on the ground. A moment later, the Demon King's body split in half. He Han recognized the technique as cicada shedding its shell. The Demon King revived, completely restored with no wounds. Furious, he said to Tang Sai Yao, damn it, you forced me to use my reincarnation skill. The current status of the Demon King was displayed. Lord of the Abyss, level 8. He Han couldn't help but mock, thinking to himself that the boss was supposed to be some tough, unstoppable force, but it turned out he was just a turtle who had cultivated some power. When it came down to it, even his shell wasn't useful. The Demon King's eyes bulged in anger as he cursed at him. You're asking for trouble. Don't think that just because you're holding the Destroyer's sword, you can look down on me. He wanted to fight alongside Tang Sai Yao, saying, Tang Sai Yao, let's attack together. But Tang Sai Yao didn't respond. The Demon King was stabbed from behind, the blade piercing straight through his chest. He was too slow to react, and the others stood there, stunned and unable to believe what had just happened. He Han spoke up, what? Tang Sai Yao had never been a righteous person. He was worse than a pig or a dog. He had taken on all the evil deeds in this life, and now that the Demon King was drained of power, he couldn't offer the glory Tang Sai Yao sought. In fact, he might become a burden. Tang Sai Yao refused to let that happen. He spoke his final words to the Demon King, making sure he knew he had trusted the wrong person before dying. Useless. It was a waste of time calling you out. Since you're of no use anymore, you can serve as my fertilizer. The Demon King, too weak to fight back, coughed, using his last bit of strength to curse Tang Sai Yao. You won't die in peace. Tang Sai Yao didn't care about the Demon King's meaningless words. He raised his sword with confidence and turned to He Han, saying, Humph, you've done well, He Han. Without you, how could I have killed this Demon King so easily? The actions of Tang Sai Yao only made him more determined to conquer the world, and the frustration inside him exploded. He wouldn't even spare his own teammates. There was no way he could let that person live any longer, especially not if he kept doing evil. He Han was furious, throwing each word out with anger. You're the real Demon King. Tang Sai Yao pulled out a token and said, that he guy, let's settle this once and for all today. I'll use the perfect combination of paired cards I've collected to send you straight to hell. The system voice from the nearby drone warned loudly, "Be careful. He's got at least 2 S-grade treasures and 3 A-grade treasures on him." He replied without even looking over. Mem. Here's the equipment info for Tang Sai Yao. Unicorn arm. Strength plus 3001. Critical hit plus 30. Explosive rampage boots. Strength plus 90. Speed plus 201. Chainmail armor. Left side defense plus 100 combined with savage battle armor. Defense plus 90. Critical hit plus 60. Advanced defense speed armor. Speed plus 30. Agility plus 30. Health regen plus 40. Crown of the Imperial Dawn. Mental strength plus 100. Health regen plus 100. Cloak of Mercy. Reduces the opponent's attack and speed by half. Legendary twin attribute Magic Blade. Ignores all physical defense with the strongest armor penetration in history. Tang Sai Yao was completely transformed from head to toe, even down to his hair. He was confident, fully equipped like this. How were you planning to deal with him? A grenade flew toward him, and Tang Sai Yao clearly noticed it. But there wasn't enough time to react, and he didn't realize the danger in time. Ha! The grenade exploded. Although everything around him was destroyed, Tang Sai Yao wasn't harmed in the slightest, not even a scratch. He flew right in front of him and clapped, praising him. Humph, even weapons and ammunition are useless. Bring me 2 boxes of grenades. Tang Sai Yao peeked out from the rubble, his face all dirty as if he were scolding himself, and said to He-Han, "Why are you so shameless?" He-Han stroked his chin and had an idea. It seemed that with all the gear on Tang Sai Yao, there was no way he could run away. Tang Sai Yao, just realizing he had been caught off guard, froze for a few seconds. Then it hit him. Oh, I was only focused on offense and defense. I didn't even think about speed. I didn't expect this equipment to be so heavy. He-Han lunged at him with a sword, aiming for his face. But just a few centimeters away, a metal plate dropped down in front of Tang Sai Yao's face to protect him, like Iron Man's mask. Behind the armor, Tang Sai Yao grinned widely. "Ha ha, you're so stupid, aren't you? Even if I can't escape, I'm fully prepared with defense. If even my flower pot needs protection, what are you going to do?" He-Han had never made a move without calculating the damage first. He kept the tip of his sword pressed against his opponent's iron mask. A few sparks of lightning crackle around, and he chuckled, saying, "I wonder if iron conducts electricity." He tightened his grip on the sword, then thrust it forcefully forward. The lightning struck, creating a powerful whirl of flames. He managed to dodge just in time. "Whoa, you're flying off to some distant place now," He said, watching as the sword slammed into the ground. He gritted his teeth. That was too close. The area struck near Tang Sai Yao's chest turned out to be protected by a passive skill. The Lord's devastating strike seemed to have drained all the energy from the lightning. If not for that, Tang Sai Yao would have had no chance to fight back. As the fire whirl dissipated, it shattered Tang Sai Yao's iron mask. He slowly rose, gasping for breath. Phew, phew. He mocked him. "So, how's it going? Feeling enlightened all of a sudden, planning to team up with me?" Tang Sai Yao refused to admit defeat. Holding his blade high, he shouted, "Come at me. If it comes down to it, we'll trade lives. The one who's strong enough to rule the world has to be Tang Sai Yao." Lin Fi stood off to the side, unable to stop herself from commenting, "This crazy guy really is beyond help." She looked toward the tall building across from her, where many people, both in appearance and demeanor, resembled him, almost like clones. Is this Tang Sai Yao self-replicating? He had also noticed it. He had to seriously question his own eyesight, wondering if he was seeing things. Where did all these Tang Sai Yaos come from? The system spoke to him. I know now. He must have received the SSS-level treasure, the Rebirth Coffin. Once this item is bonded with a user, it can replicate endlessly and grant immortality. He couldn't help but let his mind race. He asked the system, is there really such a broken item? Tang Sai Yao had removed his armor, knowing that if nothing changed in the next few hours, he would be the one standing at the end and winning. Ha ha, He-Han. Today is the day you lose. He pointed and gave an order. He-Han quickly asked the system for help, saying, "System, withdraw a card and give me the most useful one." The system reassured him, "Don't worry." Tang Sai Yao charged forward, determined not to let all his efforts to become the ruler of this world slip away. "I will give you this chance." Just then, Lu Jiu appeared, drawing her sword and slashing to protect He-Han. She said to him, "I won't give you this chance either." He-Han had chosen the card he needed. The game displayed, "Congratulations, the host has received the martial arts manual, the Phantom Sword technique." He turned to her and said, "Thank you, Lu Jiu." He still needed a little more time to fully master the skill provided by the card. Holding the sword, he absorbed the knowledge. The system displayed, understanding complete, loading 50%, 70%, 95%, 100% completion. In those few short minutes, other Tang Sai Yaos armed with weapons jumped down to attack him. He had completed the process. Using his divine eyes, he unleashed his move, making the Tang Sai Yao scream in the distance. Ah, ah, ah. The leader, Tang Sai Yao, said, "Don't panic, those guys. He won't be able to pull off a move like this again. Get your spirits up, don't let him get away." He Han, carrying his sword, ran forward, ready to hit him with another strike. Tang Sai Yao didn't expect him to take the initiative and attack. He turned to the people lying on the floor and said, "Get ready to fight." The group stood up and tried to keep going, but before they could do anything, they took the full brunt of He Han's next move. Tang Sai Yao stepped back to the edge of the arena and started directing the fight. "Bunch of useless idiots," he muttered. He Han, meanwhile, moved behind them, trying to catch them off guard. A few of them tried to sneak around to ambush him, but he quickly caught on. Using his skill, he said, "Finally got you." Each kill counts, adding 350 points, 350 points, 350 points. Tang Sai Yao was so angry he could barely speak. You again." He had taken out everyone Tang Sai Yao had sent into the fight. He said, "Even though your backup is big, I've already found 3 weaknesses in your strategy." Tang Sai Yao scoffed, "Ha, 3 flaws. So wouldn't that mean you'd have to kill 3 more identities? But doing that would just make you snap. Didn't you say you become immortal already?" He raised his fingers one by one, pointing out the holes in Tang Sai Yao's argument. First, the resurrection coffin can only copy, not bring someone back to life, so you're probably too scared to show yourself. Second, these replicated bodies existed before you killed the ruler of the abyss, so they're still at level 6. Third, they don't pose any threat to me. They can gain experience and grow stronger the more they kill. He fell silent. Normally, with Tang Sai Yao's stubborn nature, he would have argued back, but now he was speechless. He Han could see it. "From the look on your face, it seems like everything I said hit the mark, didn't it?" Lin Fi was a bit surprised by this. She thought that, in such a brief exchange, he could quickly pick up on some important information. He was clearly a natural-born fighter, so why would he say something like this? Wasn't it to give Tang Sai Yao a heads up? He hand drew his sword in a circle on the ground in front of him and said, "Just keep going. If I want to reach level 15, I'll need your help." Tang Sai Yao quickly turned around and killed 2 people, all while explaining, "The river's silt doesn't flow outside the field. Our common enemy is He Han." He gained 350 points. Tang Sai Yao added, "So, just obediently become my sacrifices for leveling up. But not all grass stays trampled forever, and some will eventually rise up." The others, of course, refused to submit. They stood up and began to revolt, saying, "Don't get ahead of yourself. Why should we help you? You want my life? It's not that easy." Tang Sai Yao swung his sword and wiped them out. To him, only the stronger had the right to speak. "Enough with the useless chatter. You don't have a choice." He had also swung his sword and killed a few. "You want to compete? Oh, then let's see who's faster." Lin Fei understood now. He had intentionally let Tang Sai Yao know that in order to prevent He Han from leveling up, Tang Sai Yao would focus on taking him down to handle the copy. If both of them acted, the experience points wouldn't differ much. He Han would get more kills, but his next battles would be a lot easier. The copies of Tang Sai Yao had all fallen, and he wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. "Ha ha, you fools. Without me, where would you be? You have no awareness at all. Of course, getting points means you level up. The more points, the higher the level." Tang Sai Yao was currently at level 10, and he felt it was well-deserved. He thought, "It's not a waste of all the effort I put in. Finally, I've reached level 10. He had wiped his sword clean and said calmly, "Actually, you still have another option. If you join forces with them, your chances of winning might be higher." Tang Sai Yao was shocked. He Han, "Holy shit, if you keep being this arrogant, you'll be punished by heaven." He Han walked closer, sword in hand. "Do you have any tricks left? You'd better use them now, or it'll be too late." Tang Sai Yao didn't respond. He stood frozen, his mind in turmoil. He tried to reassure himself, "Stay calm. I have the advantage in intelligence. If I use this skill properly, I might still surpass him." He pointed to a different spot and loudly said to He Han, "Oh, what's that over there?" He Han turned to look. Tang Sai Yao seized the opportunity, drawing his blade and striking. "Ha ha, you're too simple." He Han pinched the blade with 2 fingers, barely a tenth of its edge, and before Tang Sai Yao could react, he froze in place, staring in disbelief at the blade held between He Han's fingers. "Level 13, is that enough to do whatever you want?" The sword in his hand shattered. He Han said, "You're the one who's simple-minded." Tang Sai Yao, furious, now found himself weaponless. Forced to fight with his bare hands, he clenched his fists tightly, shouting loudly with all of his will. "Who needs weapons? There's something called the empty hand, a single blow to decide it all. He had remained calm, knowing that only someone who had already lost, like Tang Sai Yao, would make such a racket. He raised his hand to feel the wind and said, "You've lost your reason, which means defeat is certain. Your only remaining value is to test my limits." He stared at him, using only one hand. Tang Sai Yao charged at him, desperate, intending to throw everything he had at him. He hand didn't even move his sword. Instead, he landed a single punch squarely in Tang Sai Yao's chest. Tang Sai Yao coughed up blood, finally realizing what had happened, but without a shred of regret. So this is the difference in strength? Well, as long as that resurrection coffin still exists, my clone will avenge me. He hand couldn't read his thoughts, but after fighting together for so long, he could still tell what he was thinking. That's a real failure then. If you activate your rebirth coffin, it'll definitely release an energy wave, right? Tang Sai Yao's eyes widened, his voice trembling. Could it be that you've been waiting for this opportunity all along? Bao Panji approached with a tablet and, based on the situation, informed him that the check was complete. In a large, L-shaped warehouse in the southeast of the city, Yihan lowered him down and replied, "Understood." Tang Sai Yao was reluctant, glaring at Bao Panji and muttering insults under his breath, calling her a worthless woman. He sat slumped in a factory chair, rubbing his head. "Yihan, there's no way you can make it." A streak of yellow electric light shot out from Tang Sai Yao, causing him pain. Yihan appeared, sitting on top of him, his hand holding a sword with its tip pressed against his skin. "Got you now." Tang Sai Yao groveled, begging for mercy. "Brother He, I was wrong. Please give me one more chance. I'll be your subordinate. If there's anyone you can't stand, I'll take care of them for you. Please, I beg you." But there was no reason to forgive someone who had committed such crimes. Even heaven wouldn't let him off the hook. Tang Sai Yao was finished. A sword struck the electric beam, and he was burned to death. His clothes were completely incinerated, and his eyes were so hollow that his pupils were unrecognizable. He said, "Next life, I'll raise a dog. Remember to find me then." On the news, a report covered the incident. It was said that the thief who had been causing trouble in the city, Tang Sai Yao, had been beaten to death, but the police refused to reveal who the hero behind it was. Lin Fi was watching the broadcast and said to Yihan, "Even though Tang Sai Yao is dead, it's strange that Professor Liu Song Jiang is still missing, and the device Tang Sai Yao used to open the dimensional wall is also nowhere to be found." He brought up her concerns, so she wondered if Tang Sai Yao still had some followers. Lin Fi was worried about his safety and couldn't rule out that possibility. That's why the police still needed to ensure his safety. She reminded him to prepare. "By the way, the city has nominated you to sign up for the provincial-level superhero selection contest happening next month. Make sure to prepare well." Yihan Leslie scratched his nose. "Forget it. It's hard enough to get a little rest. Let me take a break for a while. I'm not going." Lin Fi didn't say anything more. She just grabbed her phone. "All right, I'll contact the organizers to give up your spot. The winner's prize is 30 million, but I guess you're not too interested in that money." When Yihan heard about the money, his eyes lit up. He stopped her and said, "Hold on, wait a second. What do you mean? Are you changing your mind?" He was suddenly very excited. "Resting? That's so boring. I'd rather go for a bigger stage and learn from people who are more talented. Even without a prize, I'd still move forward courageously and give it my all." Lin Fi walked to the door and said, "I'll go register for you. You just rest up." Yihan waved his hand. "Okay, sorry to trouble you, Officer Lin." He turned back into the house, thinking about what to do with the prize money. How should I spend this 30 million? He opened the door to his room and was greeted by a strange sight. Oh, He Xiang-ju pulled her shirt down to cover herself. "Ah, you're done? Finished with work already?" He hand tried to avoid the situation and asked He Xiang-ju, "Xiang-ju, why are you here?" He Xiang-ju blushed and said, "You've defeated the Deep Lord you've worked so hard." She closed the door and hugged him. He hand thought to himself, that was fast. He Xiang-ju nuzzled her face against his back like a cat and softly said, "I just wanted to help you feel more at ease. From now on, I belong to you. You can do whatever you want with me." He had replied, "Didn't you say we shouldn't act out before marriage?" He Xiang-ju's hands slid down to feel his abs, and she answered, "Oh, come on, that was just a formality. I'm not so old-fashioned. We can take care of that later." He hand pulled his shirt down and pushed her away. "Wait, actually, defeating the Deep Lord was easy, but you should keep your distance. You don't need to make such a big sacrifice for me. It's better if you go back and reunite with your people." He thought to himself, one wrong move and everything could be lost. Too many women would just drain me. He Xiang-ju's eyes widened, looking incredibly pitiful. Are you really going to be heartless and turn your back on me?" He didn't know how to respond to her words. He was honest. After all, we're not even married. Where is this coming from? He signed you pouted. Hemph, you can't even see me. I disappeared again. In an instant, a gust of wind swept away He Han's clothes. He looked down at himself. Where did his pants go? His shirt too. A force, invisible but strong, pushed him onto the bed. He signed you was now on top of him. There's no point in explaining further. Anyway, I'm determined to make things happen with you today. He had nervously whispered, No, you're not planning to kill me after we're done, are you? He could feel that she wasn't wearing anything underneath. He Xiang-ju found this thought absurd. She said, How could I? You're my husband. Why would I kill you? If anyone has bad intentions toward you, I'm the first to stop them. He had needed some time to sort out his emotions. He thought to himself, That's right. Her goal is to defeat the Deep Lord and protect her people, not to take my tadpoles. If she succeeds, she'll protect me if those other girls try to kill me in the future. Now that it's come to this, if I keep resisting, am I really acting like a man? His lower body brushed against He Xiang-ju. What is that poking me? He had focused on maintaining his composure, telling himself that even if a mountain fell on him, he could still stand firm. She covered her mouth, trying to stifle the muffled, suggestive noises. Inside, she thought, it hurts, but it feels so good, so comfortable. She had already laid down, giving He Han his position back. She couldn't take it anymore and urged, Is it done yet? I feel like I can't handle this much longer. These things take effort to feel any real excitement. He didn't feel tired at all. It had just started. You'll get used to this feeling, he said. He Xiang-ju gasped. It was already past midnight. When he woke up, she was nowhere to be found. Where did she go? Left already? He Han rubbed his head, feeling genuinely relieved for the first time. The creepy system didn't show up to bother him, but he was sure it was hiding somewhere in the shadows, keeping a close watch. In front of him stood Ren Junki and Lu Ju. Only now did He Han realize with a jolt. What do you two want? Just so you know, I'm a level 14 boss. Using force against me won't work. Ren Junkai responded calmly. You don't need to resist so stubbornly. The system's big sister already agreed with us. As long as it's during a safe period, we'll temporarily seal your powers. Lu Ju looked at him, noticing he was shirtless, then said, Right now, other than your physical strength, you got nothing. The good things happening today are thanks to the system's arrangement. If she were here, she'd definitely say not to be so polite. He Han was upset. What's that supposed to mean? Are you forcing me? Sang-ju, come help me out. Ren Jun-ki climbed onto the bed first and said, Take a guess. Who do you think told us to come? You can only blame yourself for being too strong last night. You scared the life out of us, so we struck a deal. They were talking among themselves about how to deal with him. She licked her lips and casually remarked, Whoever has the skills gets the bigger share. He hand shouted, Help. The next morning, he went to the police station to find Lin Fi regarding the issue of her signing him up for the competition. His eyes were dark and sunken, resembling a panda's, and he looked completely drained, lifeless, and unwell. His exhaustion was evident. She asked, Did you not sleep well last night? He Han, utterly worn out, replied, Don't even bring it up. I feel like I'm at my limit. You urgently called me here for what reason? Lin Fi asked as she pushed a stack of files toward him. These are intelligence reports on the elite tournament gathered last night. Take a look, she said. He hand took the files confidently, skimmed through them, and said, With my skills, winning the championship is a piece of cake. Why bother collecting all this information? Lin Fi, serious, advised him, You're being too optimistic. My recommendation to you right now is to withdraw from the competition immediately. He had read through the report, stunned. How could this be? Lin Fi explained there are 35 competitors in the province. Based on your current ranking, you're at most 11th, but last night, your ranking was 3rd, which means he was a little surprised. This wasn't something everyone knew about. How could this be happening? Everyone seemed to understand how to level up quickly, but how were they managing to do it? Lin Fi continued, This list shows the rankings of the top 100 people of the province, but from what I've learned, 21 people have mysteriously disappeared in the last 2 days. It's the kind of situation where they vanish without a trace, alive one moment, gone the next. After hearing her, he didn't find it too difficult to understand, but the more people there were, the tougher the competition. Everyone competing wanted to win, and no one would go easy on anyone else. It seemed that many sharp individuals had realized they could hunt each other to level up faster. It was just a competition after all. Oh, with so many ruthless people, the rivalry was fierce. She was very concerned about his safety and gave him the best advice she could. Their ambition to win is beyond what we expected. To stay safe, we should study this carefully and make a thoughtful decision. So I recommend that you, without hesitation, he immediately withdrew from the competition. I'm dropping out. I'll leave the competition. I just finished a life and death battle with Tang Sai Yao. There's no need to risk it further. Lin Fi replied, Okay, then I'll report to the province. The city of Ren-Kun has been peaceful for a while now, so you can rest easy. As he walked, He-Han asked the system, how's the data collection going? Can the game bug be fixed? The system followed him and answered, it's still too early. You should keep trying, ideally hitting a few times every day. What? Are you serious? That's too much. You want me to do this every day? It's unreasonable. This is beyond what I can handle. The system, with a little conscience, responded, I'll make you some holy oil. I've heard it's really effective. He had reluctantly replied, thanks, I guess. Suddenly, a sword strike came from behind him. He quickly dodged and shouted to the attacker, who's there? Gao Ming, adjusting his glasses, said in admiration, no wonder you're the top player in Ren-Kun City. You even dodged a sneak attack like that. A brief introduction. Gao Ming, level 16, currently ranked 9th in Dongming Province. He thought for a moment and recognized the face. He pointed and said, I think I've seen your picture. You're the player who participated in the provincial elite competition. I've been targeted for hunting just to help you level up. He was right when he said that these people would step over each other's corpses to climb up. Gao Ming, always polite in his speech, replied, all the top fighters in the city have been killed already. If I can take you down, I'm sure I'll break through to level 18. He-Han, cautious and wary of this person, said, these people have truly lost their minds. The competition hasn't even started, and they're already killing each other. It seems impossible to avoid this mess. First, I need to deal with the trouble in front of me, then I'll head back to discuss things with Lin Fei. He glanced at his weapon, wondering, is this really his weapon? It looks like something made by hand, but it has such incredible force behind it. Gao Ming gathered his strength and jumped, aiming to strike He-Han from above. He said, just accept your fate and die. He-Han drew his sword, but couldn't defend against the force of Gao Ming's staff. The more he fought, the more he was convinced something was off. A regular wooden staff would have snapped long ago, and his strength is way beyond normal. The two were evenly matched. Gao Ming stumbled back, unexpectedly revealing a lightning magic sword, narrowly avoiding a trap. He-Han swung his sword and said, there's a lot more you didn't expect. Gao Ming's palm touched the bottom of his staff, speeding up. A few blue sparks surrounded the staff and his movements, making He-Han realize that he could transfer different buff effects. Gao Ming circled around, creating a protective barrier of runes around He-Han. His voice came from behind a shield, though his face was hidden. Don't worry, you'll never catch up to my speed. 3 people, just like Gao Ming, threw their staffs at He-Han, launching attacks. He sent a message, just become the stepping stone that helps me rise to the peak of my life. No one can survive my massacre, not even you. He donned his green Dragon Knight armor and equipped his gear. Gao Ming was shocked that his attack had been repelled. What? He swung his sword and struck at Gao Ming. Found you. Gao Ming ran, narrowly avoiding the strike, not giving He-Han a chance. He's running. Gao Ming continued, calling back to He-Han. I'll come back after I finish setting up my strategy, then I'll come find you and settle this. No one can match my speed. One day, He-Han punched him in the face. You're not the only one who knows how to use magic. Gao Ming's face was bruised and swollen, blood dripping, his glasses shattered. He-Han said to him, if you want to kill me, you've really chosen the wrong target. In the middle of the chaotic scene, a violent crash made everyone hold their breath. Lin Fei stepped forward, looking both urgent and serious, raising his hand to signal. Wait, I need to confirm the identity of the attacker. The doctor turned around, checked the victim, then looked up with an expression that was oddly calm. Given the current situation, not even his own mother would recognize him. Lin Fei raised an eyebrow, thought for a moment, then shrugged and waved his hand dismissively. Forget it. Take him away. If you can save him, save him. If not, don't force it. Even if you do, he'll just end up a cripple. Suddenly, Lin Fei turned and noticed He-Han sitting quietly on the steps, he even thought. He-Han crossed his arms, his gaze distant, as if he were calculating something. Without hesitation, Lin Fei stepped forward, his voice low but determined. Gao Ming won't be the last. For safety, I'll request the highest level of protection from our superiors. He-Han smirked, dismissing her words with a cold smile. Not necessary. If I don't care, I'll go in myself. How can I mix with them? I've decided to join the elite competition. Hearing this, Lin Fei was momentarily surprised, frowning as she asked, are you sure? Once you join the competition, you'll face stronger enemies and greater risks. He stood up, his eyes cold and his voice firm. No need to hesitate, just eliminate them. Register for me, and then go back and brief me on the competition rules. I need to make use of the time to study them. Also, interrogate Gao Ming. I've always felt he's not just trying to kill me to level up. He definitely has another agenda. Lin Fei paused for a few seconds, then nodded, her eyes showing a hint of caution, but still agreeing. All right, I'll make the arrangements. He-Han gave a slight nod, raising his hand as if signaling to end the conversation. Then I'll leave, he said. Seeing Yi Han about to leave, Lin Fi quickly spoke up, a hint of concern in his voice. I'll arrange for a police car to take you home. But Yi Han just waved his hand, replying calmly, No need. No one will cause trouble for me around here anymore. Yi Han and Lin Fi were still discussing their plans, unaware that high above them, a drone was quietly recording everything they did. In the observation room on a large screen, their images appeared clearly. Professor Zhang stood with his arms crossed, his eyes fixed on the screen as he spoke. This man, Yi Han, is definitely hiding something. Whether it's his equipment or his combat skills, they seem like those of an amateur. I suspect someone powerful is guiding him behind the scenes. The person seated casually in the chair, looking too comfortable for anyone's liking, replied without much concern. So, you think he still has some hidden tricks up his sleeve? Professor Zhang nodded vigorously. Yes, exactly. My advice is to stay away from him. Otherwise, the consequences could be very dangerous. The person sitting in the chair smiled faintly, as if he couldn't care less about the warning. He raised a glowing blue gem in his hand, his tone full of self-satisfaction. Even Gao Ming had been defeated by him. Truly a rare opponent. First, I'll try to lure him in. If he doesn't know his place, then I'll have no choice but to use stronger methods. After all, at this point, a sudden flash of blue light erupted from the holy dragon sword he was holding. The light wasn't just sharp, it carried a strange pressure that made everyone in the room wary. He lifted the sword, his eyes glowing with ambition. The holy dragon sword, a part of the Qinglong armor. The holy Qinglong armor and the Qinglong gauntlets. I must have them. A high-rise apartment with a panoramic view of the city, Yi Han's group was sitting around discussing matters. Yi Han already sent the official rules for the competition from the event organizers. Yi Han spoke in a calm yet calculating tone. The official competition will be in 3 days. There's still some time before then. Looks like the organizers are worried about those contestants causing trouble again. Lin Fi nodded, took a sip of tea, and replied coldly, On the sofa, Lu Ju, sitting cross-legged, chimed in, Group stage, semifinals, finals. This means it's not just one match. Ren Junpei looked up, a bit dissatisfied, and asked, But there's no info about the groupings. How are we supposed to know who our opponents are? Hixinang Ju, who was elegantly practicing yoga, turned her head and interrupted, That's simple. Just tell me where the organizers are and I'll go steal the list. Upon hearing this, Lin Fi looked confused, furrowing his brow in doubt. Why do they sound exactly like peacocks in heat? He hand sighed and waved his hand, as if brushing away those odd thoughts. Forget it. Let's focus on the main topic. The announcement stated that all players must register the day after tomorrow, so they'd need to leave first thing tomorrow morning. Once they got to the competition venue, no one would dare cause any trouble. Ling Fi agreed, saying, That's right, but the competition is being held in Puyang City, which means we have to go through 4 major cities to get there. If I were a contestant, I'd definitely be thinking about how to handle that on the way. The atmosphere suddenly grew tense when Lu Ju clapped his hands together loudly, his eyes shining with a deadly glare, and a sinister smile spread across his face. I'll escort Yi Han there. Anyone who dares to cause trouble can ask my blade first. Ren Junpei and Xiang Ju seemed to agree with Lu Ju's plan, eagerly adding, I'll go too as well. Ding dong! The sound of the doorbell rang, cutting through the tension in the apartment. Lin Fi and Yi Han instantly froze, their eyes filled with alertness. Lin Fi quickly grabbed the radio, his voice panicked as he called out, Team 1. Team 2, respond. Who's ringing the doorbell? But there was only an eerie silence. Lin Fi repeated his call, this time with more urgency. Team 1. Team 2. No one's responding. Could the radio be cut off? Yi Han stood up, his expression serious as he replied, For them, killing someone is much easier than cutting off the radio. The doorbell kept ringing urgently, as if provoking both of their patience. Yi Han approached the door, his voice carrying through, I'm coming, stop pressing it. As the door swung open, a strange clown stood outside wearing a half-smile filled with mystery. He bowed cautiously and spoke in a respectful tone. Honorable Mr. He, good evening. I am here under my master's orders, sent especially to visit you, King Yun City's contender, the clown, level 17, currently ranked 8th in the entire province. Hearing this, the girls inside the room immediately rushed out, their eyes filled with suspicion and curiosity. Ren Junpei was the first to speak. A clown ranked 8th. Are you here to kill Yi Han too? Lu Ju seized the opportunity, her voice carrying a threatening edge. With me here. Keep dreaming. The clown, still maintaining his polite smile, calmly explained, There's been a misunderstanding. The organizers have now strictly forbidden contenders from slaughtering each other. How would I dare? I'm merely here to deliver a message on behalf of my master. He had remained where he stood, his sharp gaze scanning the stranger before him. His voice was firm as he asked, Who is your master? The clown gave a cold, faint smile, speaking slowly. Right now, number 1 on the list, yes. Hearing the name, Lin Fei paused for a moment, his voice betraying his surprise. X's identity is very mysterious. No one even knows his exact rank. In the government's published rankings, he's always at the top. Ran Junqi, intrigued, exclaimed, "He's that mysterious?" He hand-crossed his arms, smirking with clear disdain, his tone icy. "Enough with the games. Just tell me straight. What do they want you to relay?" The clown then pulled out a shiny black card and held it up in front of He-Han. His voice rang out, "Lord X values talent highly. He wants to recruit you as his subordinate to accomplish great things together. He said that if you kneel before his business card, he might spare your life and even help you become a trusted and powerful ally of his." After hearing the clown's provocative words, claiming that He-Han had to kneel before the business card, He-Han's face darkened. His expression grew serious and he frowned, his voice dripping with contempt. "He wants me to kneel, huh?" The clown not only wasn't afraid, but even flashed a mysterious smile. He shrugged and slowly replied, "That's right, this is your only chance." Without another word, He-Han slammed the door shut in his face. He had no intention of wasting any more time with this annoying person. But the clown didn't give up. He stood outside, ringing the doorbell repeatedly and shouting loudly, trying to force his way in. "Don't hide in there, so quiet. I know you're home. If you're brave enough to join the competition, why aren't you brave enough to open the door? Open up." As he was shouting, a loud sound rang out and a bucket of cold water poured down over his head. The clown froze, drenched from head to toe, looking like a stick covered in hard glue. He looked up, eyes blazing with anger, and saw He-Han standing on the upper floor, still holding the bucket with some water left. He-Han's face was eerily calm as he slightly smirked and called down, "Ah, soaking my feet feels so nice. If you don't leave now, the next bucket will be boiling water." The clown, both scared and furious, turned to leave, but not before angrily shouting back, "If you're so willing to lose face, then just wait. We'll see." He-Han shook his head with a cold smile and muttered to himself as if delivering a final insult. "Crazy bastard." Lin Fei stood by the window, her sharp eyes observing everything closely. She turned around and spoke in a serious tone. "He quietly took care of 2 of the guard teams. You provoked him like that. Aren't you worried he'll take action?" He-Han, with a calm demeanor, gently closed the window. He replied in a steady voice, full of hidden meaning, "I can guarantee he won't try a cover assassination. But if it's face-to-face, he'll have no choice but to endure. After all, the organizers have already issued a death sentence, unless he wants to kill his own master." Upon hearing this, Lin Fei couldn't help but feel frustrated. She said angrily, "I can't believe this guy is so reckless, sending people here to provoke us like this. And that clown, he's probably one of his underlings too. Maybe Gao Ming was right, just like you said. He must have sent him." He-Han turned away, his face still cold and composed as usual. He asked casually, "Speaking of Gao Ming, what's his condition now?" Lin Fei was slightly surprised by the unexpected question, but she answered immediately. "The doctor said his condition is critical. He could die at any moment. Why?" He-Han slowly turned back around. His eyes glinted with cold sharpness as he smiled mysteriously, locking his gaze on Lin Fei. His tone, though unexpectedly soft, carried an undeniable command. "Then, could you do something for me?" The next morning in a high-rise apartment, the clown stepped out of the bathroom, water still dripping from his hair. As he dried his head, he took a phone call, his voice full of rage. "I'm so pissed off. This guy He-Han is seriously arrogant and reckless. Boss, we can't just let him off like this, can we?" On the other end of the call, a deep voice replied, sounding cautious yet firm, "Don't stir up trouble. Don't forget the rules of the competition. The monitoring team is not someone you want to mess with." The clown smirked, his eyes flashing with malice. He responded confidently, "Don't worry, I won't leave any trace. Once he's on his way, I'll take care of him and get the item back for you." There was a brief pause before the voice on the other end spoke again, more seriously now. "The competition starts the day after tomorrow. Get back here quickly and don't waste any time." The clown nodded, his voice clear and determined as he replied. In a dimly lit room, 2 men sat opposite each other. One was Professor Zhang, his face filled with worry, while the other leaned back in his chair, its presence mysterious and calm. Professor Zhang couldn't hide his confusion and asked, "Why would you want that clown to kill He-Han? What if the surveillance team finds out?" The mysterious man let out a faint laugh, resting his chin on his hand, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Professor Zhang, when did I ever say for him to take action? I just reminded him not to be late." Professor Zhang blinked, then nodded slowly, muttering to himself, "Oh, whether it succeeds or not, you can still prove that killing He-Han was the clown's personal action, with no connection to you." The mysterious man gave a slight smirk, his eyes briefly flashing with coldness. He spoke slowly, as if carefully choosing each word. "Gao Ming has already lost, and it seems the clown isn't exactly confident about his chances either." Professor Zhang furrowed his brow, still puzzled, and asked, "Then why are you just letting him go?" The man chuckled softly, his voice steady, but carrying an unmistakable hint of danger. "I don't want to become a direct enemy of He-Han, so if I can make him miss this competition, that's not a bad solution." The early morning light poured over everything. Lin Fi and He-Han were standing next to the car, shaking hands. Lin Fi, with a serious expression, spoke up, "I have to stay behind and keep watch. I can't go with you." Panji had mentioned that he was working on new software and didn't have time to go there. He promised he would find He-Han as soon as he finished. He-Han gave a faint smile, his face calm, but his eyes showed determination. "It's fine. I can handle it on my own." Lin Fi furrowed his brow, speaking with concern. "The department has approved 3 cards, and there will be 5 guards escorting you. That should be enough to deal with any usual surprises. But if those people try something on the road..." Before he could finish, 2 women, He Xiang-ju and Ren Jun-ki, popped their heads out of the car windows and teasingly called out, "With us here? Don't worry." Lin Fi turned to look at them and sighed. "With you 2 here, I'm even more worried." Not wanting to delay any longer, He-Han moved closer to the car, opened the door, and got in. He nodded as a signal, then firmly said, "No more wasting time. Let's go." The convoy quickly started moving, with 3 police cars trailing for protection. Lin Fi stayed behind, shouting after them, "Take care and remember to stay safe." Meanwhile, not far from the convoy, a black car was parked discreetly by the side of the road. Inside, the driver tilted his head and said to the man sitting next to him, "Young master, they've left." The man, referred to as Young Master, ordered, "Follow them, but don't let them notice." The driver nodded briefly and responded, "Understood." The 3 police cars rolled one by one, escorting He-Han's brute down the long, empty road. In the lead car, He-Han sat back in his seat, his eyes scanning the map on his phone. He furrowed his brow and glanced at the driver beside him. "Are we supposed to be taking the highway the whole way? Why did we turn onto this road?" The officer behind the wheel responded without hesitation, "This route will be a little quicker." He-Han stared at the map, his voice cold but his eyes full of doubt. "You think I don't know how to read a map on my phone? We're heading north, but this is clearly taking us south." The driver fell silent for a moment, then suddenly let out a sharp, mocking laugh. His calm face twisted into something else, veins bulging on his forehead, his eyes bloodshot. He turned to glare at He-Han, his voice dripping with disdain. "So now you notice something's off? You really are pathetic." He pulled out a small device, his hand trembling with excitement, the red light on it flashing ominously. Before pressing the button, he shouted, "This is my payback for you throwing water on me last night." Bang! A loud explosion shattered the quiet of the empty street. The leading police car exploded, sending metal shrapnel flying everywhere. He-Han was thrown out of the vehicle, but the special armor he wore activated, shielding him from the blast. Standing amidst the rising smoke and flames, he clicked his tongue. "This is bad. I blew up my own car. How am I supposed to get through now?" From behind, He Xiang-ju and Ren Jun-ki rushed over. He Xiang-ju shouted, "Even the police are getting infiltrated now." Just as He-Han was about to reply, he suddenly felt an eerie, dangerous aura. He spun around, and at that moment, a figure charged out from the smoke. The clown shouted excitedly, holding a weapon in hand, activating the buff, Hunter's Focus, freezing the opponent's gear. He-Han dodged to the side, avoiding the direct attack, but immediately after, he felt his body freeze up. A cold voice echoed through the air. "Player's gear has been frozen. No consumables can be used until the release limit is reached." He-Han struggled, his eyes wide with panic. "What? Am I really locked down?" Seeing He-Han's skills and gear frozen, the clown laughed triumphantly. He charged forward, throwing a powerful punch that sent He-Han tumbling to the ground. Joker gloves, ah. Seeing He-Han knocked far away, Ren Jun-ki and He Xiang-ju rushed forward, their voices filled with worry. He-Han. The clown stood there, a look of pure delight on his face. He threw his head back and laughed loudly, then sneered. "This punch is to get back at you for the water toss. Today, I'm going to have some fun with you." Ren Jun-ki bent down to help He-Han, panting as he asked, "Why didn't you equip the dragon's blessing armor?" He-Han clutched his stomach, grimacing in pain as he gasped, cough, cough. "I summoned it, but it was useless." Not waiting long, He-Han quickly called out to the system. A small girl appeared on the screen, looking as cute as usual. He shouted, "System, what's going on? Why is he able to freeze my gear?" The little girl blinked slowly, answering, "Each name has its own special buff. I didn't expect these players to be this strong. They haven't even cleared the dungeon, but they already have equipment with named buffs." He hand glared at the system and shouted, "What about my Dragon Warrior's gear? What kind of buff does it have?" The little girl nodded confidently. "Of course it has one." He hand's eyes lit up. "Perfect. What kind of buff? I'll use it to crush him." But the system's answer froze his face in place as if it had been sprayed with glue that made him stiff. Fighting any opponent from the dragon system deals double damage to you. The clown didn't hesitate for a second. He rushed forward while throwing a series of glittering cards that flashed like lightning, shouting loudly, "There's no time to talk anymore." He hand quickly turned and shouted a warning, "It's dangerous, get out of here." Lu Jiu didn't hesitate either. She immediately drew her sword and rushed forward, standing between He Han and the two girls. She spoke confidently. "What are you scared of? You think we're useless?" Ren Jumti and Hixiang Jiu quickly joined in, standing in front of He Han. Together, they declared in unison, their voice is full of power. "That's right. As long as we're here, no one is allowed to harm our husband. He's ours to spoil, and no one else has the right to touch a single hair on him." He Han stepped back, a look of satisfaction on his face. He sighed contentedly. "So this is what it feels like to be spoiled? It's amazing. Really, I can trust you all." The clown, with a provocative look in his eyes, mocked He Han. "Not bad, He Han. You got quite a blessing here, 3 beautiful women by your side. But don't worry, once you're dead, I'll be the one to take care of them for you." Hearing this, Lu Jiu was furious. She swung her blade and charged forward at lightning speed, shouting, "I'll cut off your filthy tongue first." The clown was momentarily startled, but quickly activated his skill. Oh, he thought, activating focused hunting, a buff that froze the opponent's clothing. The system unexpectedly issued a notification. Freezing failed. Reason: can only freeze player clothing, ineffective against NPCs in the game. The clown froze, stuttering, "What? She's an NPC." Lu Jiu didn't waste any time. She swung her blade twice in quick succession, making the clown scream in pain. Ah, my hair. Immediately after, a blazing red fireball appeared, filled with power, and hurled itself at the clown. The explosion was fierce, sending him flying. The clown tumbled and yelled, "Ha! Ha! Ha!" Ran Jun-Kei stood from a distance, coldly controlling the situation, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "This is the consequence of running your mouth." The clown gritted his teeth in frustration, trying to get back up, and shouted, "Damn it, you filthy women. I'll use my ultimate weapon, the Clown King's bomb. Once triggered, it will invade your soul, making sure you can't escape death." He reached down in his waistband, searching, but suddenly froze. "Wait, where's my bomb? Why can't I find it?" From a distance, Hixiang Jiu raised her hand, holding the bomb in her palm, and casually said, "I thought it was a wallet. Turns out it's a grenade." He Han's eyes widened in surprise as he asked, "When did you steal it?" The clown yelled angrily, "The thief is about to die. If you've got the guts, face me head on. What's the point of stealing?" Hixiang Jiu smiled gently and tossed the bomb toward him. "If it wasn't worth anything, I wouldn't bother giving it back to you." The clown caught the bomb, moved, and said, "Oh, thanks. You're a good person, but a thief can't go back to the West. I'll just keep a little souvenir." He bent down to look closely, his eyes widening when he realized something. "Wait, isn't this the pin for my grenade?" Boom, boom. The loud explosions rang out, shaking the whole area. He Han stood, staring at the scene, his mouth agape as he mumbled, "Oh, that was easy. Strong as a tiger pouncing, truly lived up to the legend." The girl turned around and looked at He Han. Lu Jiu's voice was calm, but filled with authority. "It's taken care of. Let's move on." He Han shook his head slightly and gave a wry smile. "If we only walk, I don't think we'll get far." Suddenly, from a distance, a voice called out, full of excitement, "Hey, I'm here to help you." Everyone turned to see a car speeding toward them, with Cao Tai Di driving and waving his hand enthusiastically. He slammed on the brakes, and the car screeched to a halt. Jumping out, he looked around with a restless gaze. Cao Tai Di asked, "Where's the enemy? Should I take him out?" He Han sighed and replied, "We took care of that a long time ago. What are you doing here?" Cao Tai Di laughed proudly. "You saved my life, of course. I'm going to return the favor. I've been following you since you left. The moment anyone causes trouble, I'll be there to handle it personally." He Han smiled and said, "I don't need you to deal with the enemy, but you can help me with another big problem." Cao Tai Di tilted his head, curious. "What problem?" Without saying much more, He Han and the 3 girls quickly climbed into the car and slammed the door shut. Anne looked at Cao Tai Di with a serious expression and said, "If we're going to make it in time for registration, it's all on you guys." Cao Tai Di was so excited that he had a nosebleed. He slapped his chest and promised, "No problem, leave it to me." The car immediately sped off like the wind. He Han and the 3 girls in the car shouted, "Let's go, but don't drive too fast, it hurts." "Oh, it's a bit much already. Even though we're still separated by clothes, there's nothing major. I definitely need to report this to Big Brother. He Han's real identity is no joke." The car stopped in front of the competition building where the air was fresh and clean. Cao Tai got out, looked around, and complained the venue for the elite tournament in Dongming province. I thought it was going to be in the city center, but why did they bring us to this mountain gorge? He stepped out of the car and said the organizers aren't stupid. If they gather a bunch of unstable people like us, once things get out of hand, the whole city could be in danger. The group headed toward the building. As they walked, Hehan reminded them, "Let's go, first we need to check in over there." When Hehan arrived at the registration desk, he politely greeted the event staff. "Hello, I'm the representative from Renkun City." The staff member didn't even bother looking up and coldly replied, "Just sign in." Hehan asked further, "Do the others in my group need to wait outside?" The staff shrugged and said, "They can come in if they want. No one's stopping them." After signing in, Hehan walked away, looking around and commenting to Cao Tai. "This event really isn't serious at all." Cao Tai nodded in agreement. "Yeah, it's like kids playing pretend." As they entered the venue, Hehan was surprised. "Wow, I didn't expect this many people." Inside, the atmosphere was tense, with competitors sizing each other up. Some were thinking, they don't look easy to deal with. Just then, the event organizers appeared and stepped up to the stage. The crowd started murmuring, "Someone's going up, it's finally about to start." "Who are these people?" The head of the organizing committee, Director Chen, spoke up. "Welcome to the venue for the elite tournament. I'm the person in charge of this event. You can call me Director Chen. I'm very happy to announce that this year we have a total of 89 participants, and we will certainly select outstanding talents who will represent Dongming and our national team." Someone from the stands sneered, "Too many pointless words. Listening to a government official talk is like hearing air escape from a tire." Director Chen heard this and calmly turned around to ask, "Contestant, what did you just say?" The person, unafraid, responded loudly, "I said, you really are something." Before he could finish, a gunshot rang out. Director Chen coldly looked at the body that had just collapsed and warned, "When I'm speaking, everyone should remain silent. If you continue making noise, my colleagues in the supervisory team will have to step in to maintain order." He silently thought, "So, these people are the supervisory team. They really do have some skill. Looks like they all have special abilities." Director Chen continued, "Our competition will be divided into 2 stages. The first stage is a survival challenge, and the second stage is a combat competition. I will go over the rules in detail before each stage begins. For now, everyone can return to your rooms and rest." Hehan shook his head in frustration and said, "Is that it?" After all that talking, it didn't reveal any important information. It was basically meaningless. The group of players below were also getting annoyed and discussing it among themselves. "I just don't get it. They're not taking this seriously at all. Arriving this early was really unnecessary." A henchman approached Director Chen and whispered, "Director, it didn't mention the 3 taboos. If they cause trouble tonight, I feel like there are still too many people involved. We should just let them do whatever they want." Director Chen casually sipped his coffee and replied, "Once the number drops to around 50, you'll be able to control the situation." The henchman nodded. "Got it." Director Chen continued, "Quality matters more than quantity. Focus on attracting the right people so you can choose those who are truly useful." Inside the building, Hehan's 3 female friends jumped onto the bed, laughing loudly. "Ha ha, it's so soft, so comfortable." Hehan frowned, looked around, and then asked Cao Tai, "Are all the rooms set up like this? This is really below standard." Cao Tai awkwardly answered, "It's probably a custom design. After all, you've got a lot of female friends with you." Lu Jiu clapped his hands on the bed and called out, "Why are you still standing there? Come up here." He Xianju smiled gently and said, "You must be tired from the journey, right?" Ren Jun-ki chimed in, "Let the person relax for a bit." He sighed and muttered, "Not again." Cao Tai stammered, I'll go outside and take a look." The 3 girls looked at him with puzzled expressions. Cao Tai quickly corrected himself. I was wrong." He hurriedly ran out, mumbling, "I'll rest in the car," as he asked for permission. Once again, the sound of fireworks filled the night sky, and the weather was so perfect it made people envious. Outside, a competitor heard the noise and laughed loudly. "Ha! Someone's treating tonight like a break." Not far away, a person was coldly cleaning his sword while his teammate looked up at the sky and smirked, whispering, "Before the competition, the hunting time begins." The darkness surrounded the building. A person deeply asleep suddenly sensed something unusual. As he opened his eyes, a shadow rushed toward him, swinging his sword fiercely. The fire quickly blazed up, burning fiercely and spreading everywhere. Meanwhile, Hehan's room was the complete opposite. Lu Jiu cried out excitedly, Don't stop, don't stop." He Xianju and Ren Jun-ki couldn't hide their frustration. "I've rested enough, stop being lazy, it's my turn now." Just then, a sharp scream from outside made Hehan pause. He immediately became alert. Something didn't feel right. That had definitely been a scream of terror. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door, followed by a warning. People inside, come out now. There's a contestant killing people everywhere and planning to set fire to things. You need to move to another location with us now. Lu Chu stared, clearly unhappy. What? I was about to enjoy myself. Who the hell did that? Hixiang Ju and Ren Junki were panic-stricken. We should leave too quickly. Wait a minute, Yihan signaled for them to be quiet, leaving the three girls stunned. The voice from outside continued. Are you going or not? If not, I'll take the others and leave first. Come on. Outside, the flames were raging. A massive man swung a flamethrower and coldly laughed. Huff. Took down another one. He looked up at the system interface, surprised, and wondered aloud, why isn't my experience going up? Could it be that he's still not dead? At that moment, Yihan was clinging to the ceiling, watching him, but the man had no idea. He shouted, come out already. Stop struggling before you die. I'll make it quick for you. Without warning, Yihan dropped down and started attacking, punching him repeatedly. The three girls watching were shocked. One of them exclaimed, oh, is that a contestant from the competition? Yihan responded seriously, I met him earlier this afternoon. He's a contestant here for the tournament. It looks like the organizers are deliberately trying to get the contestants to kill each other before the competition even starts. Hixiang Ju questioned, but why? On one hand, they issue a ban on sneak attacks and specifically warn everyone before the competition begins. On the other hand, they're gathering people to slaughter each other. Yihan calmly replied, of course we won't let them strike from behind. But if the battle takes place within their sight, they can observe everyone's reactions. Meanwhile, in the observation room, two supervisors are watching the screen. One of them grumbles, this jerk messed up the camera again. Huff, this is fitting interesting. Chief Chen turned to the assistant controlling the screen and asked, how's the battle going? The assistant quickly reported, the chaos has been going on for 12 minutes and there are only 74 survivors left. Chief Chen gave a slight dismissive smile and commented, for so many clever people trying to strike from behind, only 14 have died so far. Looks like they all have some brains. I'll take a nap. Wake me up when there are only 50 people left. The assistants all responded in unison, yes, sir.